Hello, Internet, and welcome to Drunken Dragons, where we play D&D and the stakes have never been drunker. As you can see...
You did it again.
What?
You got through the phrase.
I got through it. I didn't realize it. I got through it.
We don't celebrate anymore because now it's just the norm now.
Oh, that's good. But as you can see, there's only 4 of us. I almost said there's only 3 of us, not counting myself, but there's only 4 of us here tonight. As Micah has an illness going around his household family unit, so he is out of commission. So we will be doing our one shot that has been on hold since Halloween, Night of the Living Bread. So it's Christmas, Halloween, fun.
Huzzah!
Perfect.
But before we get started, we have our normal thank yous and announcements. A big, huge thank you to our own Mr. Producer, Neil_P_voiceover. I knew I'd fuck up something in the chat for all of the amazing character art you see. He also did our emotes and then our pre-show, post-show screens. He's great. We love having him around, and you should definitely follow him and watch streams under his own channel. We'd also like to thank Sirenscape for all of our audio support tonight. They have an online player with no clients to download to use it. It's been a huge convenience, and you should certainly check them out. Also, this Sunday, we met our goal of our community challenge. You did this to me.
You did? I was about to say, you do this to us.
To me.
And I always go, I'm like, sure, we'll do it. That sounds fine. And then afterwards, I'm like, what did I say yes to?
Why did we agree to this? Where we are replacing our normal alcoholic shots with Jello shots with shit floating in them, not actual human feces or other things feces, just random stuff in them.
Now I'm imagining like a Jello mold of like ground beef in it.
Yeah.
No.
Tuna
No.
Jello.
No.
Tuna.
No.
Oh,
Absolutely
This is the
not.
best
That's
time for it to be a vegetarian, right, Corey?
Yep.
Ooh,
Yep.
ooh. About ham shots.
No.
Pork
No.
jello.
No.
Okay.
No. I'm not doing a spam water shot.
No.
But yeah, so it's going to be 4 rounds of shots. Each shot will be a different Jello mold thing.
And in my opinion, it gets worse.
It does. It gets progressively worse. We've set them up to get worse each progressive shot.
There will be a yeet bucket.
There will be a heat bucket on hand
no.
because I'm not excited for this. I did get one vetoed. So
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Which one?
I was going to have us do salmon and cottage cheese.
Ew, great.
I do hate yourself.
Yeah, I hate myself
Corey
a lot.
does this.
I would try that once.
I mean,
I would try it once too. But yeah, it got resolutely vetoed by the entire household, and by the entire household, I mean myself, Steven, and Neil, and I think Orion the dog was a little sick too.
Yeah. He did.
Yeah. It's bad whenever Neil says that's too much.
No.
Life if you don't occasionally Ralph on camera. Come on.
I mean, I've already done a spit take on camera. I've
Yes, you
cried
did.
from heat on camera. Like,
There's several things that we've done on.
Steven, what have you done on camera? You can see Steven's OnlyFans at.
Oh, we need to put that up.
But also, we will continue to play Outer Wild Echoes of the Eye. Hopefully, we'll finish it. Maybe, I don't know. We got to the point. In
This
the
game makes
that
me feel so stupid.
I literally don't know what the next step is here. I have no idea. So if anyone wants to Google it between now and Sunday and then tell us what to do, you'd be a big help because I sure as fuck don't know.
Although
Like
we
at
have
all.
learned, the more we drink, the more we actually do accomplish. We just don't remember. Actually, no,
I'm
I take that
also-
back. We do a lot in the beginning, then we drink, and then we forget what we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's more what we do.
I've also learned that game, the name of the game is just do random shit and you will get a good result eventually. Run into random portraits. Turn on your light at random places. And eventually something will happen. So,
And make innumerate bees go, but how? What is the logic? And then we're like, you don't know us well enough. There is no
There is
logic here.
There is no logic. We're two drunk Geminis. There is
Yeah.
no logic. But yeah, so catch us Sunday for that. We'll see how much we can keep our. Oh, we've got to figure out what we're gonna drink with those Jello mold things, like for our main drink.
Originally,
Oh,
I was
no.
going to surprise you, but then after I found out we're doing the Jello shots and it was going to be Christmas, I'm like, I'm not going to make that drink. I was going to make the red wine hot chocolate again.
Oh no, that would be
Oh.
terrible with Jello
Yeah,
shots.
but after we're like, oh well, we're doing the Jello shots. I'm like, no.
No, that would not be a good combo. I don't know what will be a good combo, but that would not be one.
I
Water,
mean,
maybe?
are there any classic 70s drinks that go with horrific Jello molds?
I'm sure we would probably find something.
Maybe just like straight up Coke out of a glass bottle or cocaine.
Okay, I was
Oh,
about to say, or
that's
just
Cocaine.
Coke.
We could just do cocaine.
Replace drink with cocaine.
Yeah.
Uh,
But now, with all of that housekeeping done and a small rant to boot, let's dive into this special one-shot, Knights of the Living Bread.
Oh no.
So, while you all are gathered around the campfire one evening prior to arriving at Bazazan, you kind of start reminiscing on stories from before you had started this adventure, reminding each other of things you've either done separately, together, different interesting situations that had occurred. And one that you brought up was one where Kaneen was a bit too busy out by himself, but the three of you had been brought together by Lady A to go and help a small town called Millwood, which was located within the Empire. Now, Millwood typically has a harvest festival every year, but this year the harvest festival is seriously threatened because the town of Millwood, which is typically idyllic and for a small town empire, very fun, it's been shaken by a series of mysterious deaths. Several of the town's residents have been found dead in their homes in the last 12 days. The local cleric concluded that they suffocated while asleep in their beds, causing some to suspect a mysterious illness, while others believe this might be the work of a serial killer. Millwood's Sheriff Brown realized he was a bit in over his head and put out a call of help. Lady A offering up her own adventurers and promising you all a reward for stopping any further deaths and figuring out what was the cause of the deaths in the village. It's just about after sunrise whenever you arrive in the town of Millwood. The quaint town sits between rolling hills, wide fields of grazing cattle and half-harvested wheat, and a forest ablaze with autumnal colors. The dirt roads turn to cobblestone as you enter Millwood. There are suspiciously few townsfolk around for this time and this season. You the adventurers to come help us out? A rotund green-skinned tiefling with a thick brown mustache and a brimmed hat comes jogging down the road towards you, carrying an old but well-cared-for spear. I'm Sheriff Brown, he says, shaking each of your hands in turn. Glad to have you help with this. Why don't we head to my office so we can discuss the details? He takes you all to a small but sturdy wood building with a sitting room that has a small area for the sheriff's desk and one barred cell large enough to hold about 5 people. The desk itself is completely covered in papers. You can see wanted posters, regional alerts, and what looks like a series of scribbled notes. Glancing around the room, you also notice there are 13 teddy bears arrayed around the room. And on the wall opposite to his desk is a portrait of a younger-looking version of Sheriff Brown beside a curly-haired woman holding a teddy bear, both smiling contentedly. Oh, well, I'm so glad to have you guys out here helping us. Here, let me just set old Pokey down over here. And he sets his spear in the corner of the room. Yeah, you go ahead, take a seat. I think if I just... And he pulls one of the stools out from the cell and kind of shoves it in front of his desk. All right, that... 1, 2, 3. All right, that's enough chairs. And he sits down at the one chair behind the desk as you 3 sit in front of him. Now, I understand you know the general of the situation, but not the details. So there have been several deaths here recently. Reverend Millie, Bree, Clive, Clara, Peter, Sia. 7 now. 7 deaths in the town in about a fortnight. Now, the cleric seems to think it's some kind of illness, and then there's been talk about maybe a ghost going around or something of the sort, but I'm not entirely buying it. I'm just hoping you guys can help us out, figure out what's going on.
What do you think? I mean, have you come to any conclusions? Don't believe it's accidents.
No, I don't think it's accidents. They've all suffocated while they were asleep. So that doesn't sound much like an accident to me.
Suffocated on what?
Well, that's the thing. No one knows.
Oh.
So how
There's-
do you know they suffocated?
Well, there doesn't seem to be any sign of any sort of trauma, like blunt force trauma or sharp force trauma anywhere. No blood.
Lilith just froze off. Well, typically with suffocation, you have the typical blue lips. The eyes are slightly bulged with a little red tinge to them, usually a little bit veiny. And she just
Fingertips.
fingertips. She starts just rattling off all the details that leads to suffocation. She's like, all signs lead to that. Is that what you have seen?
Also,
Yeah, that's
Have-
what the cleric said.
have you done an autopsy by any chance?
What's a doopsie?
Oh, they're great. You cut open the body and you weigh all the organs, and then you like look at the blood and see if it's congealed. Basically, it can give you some information. Do you want to cut some people open?
I'd rather not cut my friends open.
Well, you don't have to do it. Typically, there's a medical examiner in such cases, so you don't have to know them.
Dr. Ray, are you offering your services?
No, I am not qualified, but I would be interested in watching. Pure professional curiosity.
To further your education.
Yes,
We got
exactly.
a town cleric, and that's about it as far as medical people go.
Okay.
He is gonna look over at Lilith and be like, "You are not cutting them open."
She looks
Give us
back.
information.
But why? I mean, I agree with Dr. Ray. In order to find out the root of things, you have to dive a little bit deeper, and sometimes that might be into a body.
Because smiling while you do it is unsettling.
Well, that's true, but just wear a mask. It's fine.
So, anyways, do you have any suspects? Anybody in the community that you know is still alive that you may think could be the individual?
Well, as far as suspects are concerned, I guess anyone in the town could be a suspect. There's not one person that seems to have slighted anyone else. There doesn't seem to be much of a connection between the people,
That just
other than
happened.
they live in this town.
And it has happened overnight with each of these deaths.
Yeah.
So it's safe to say it's probably around the same time. No suspects. No clue what's causing the suffocation.
It's happening every other night, right?
No, it's not. It's not like a pattern of nights. It's just happening on nights, and it's been going on for about a fortnight now.
Okay.
Sheriff, this is terribly uncomfortable. I
The
do
teddy
have
bears
to
are,
agree with.
yes.
Yeah, they're a little disconcerting.
But those were my wife's.
I'm sure
Office
she's
meat?
lovely.
Oh, she was, yes.
Dear.
Whispers to the other two. It was him. He did it.
Could be. Could be. It's a classic.
I mean,
Pretending to be the cop to actually cover up that you did it all along.
He's probably trying to sacrifice these. Why am I going southern all of a sudden? God damn it, I'm just around the chef too much. No.
You're bringing PK Boom back.
Yeah, all PK boom. But it could be that he is trying to bring back his wife.
her back. How would he do that?
Friends from the other side. She
I'm
raises
just
up
gonna stare
Eleanor.
at this wall and pretend you're not talking about me.
Oh, she's keeping it a hush hush to it. But if he is picking up and like trying to listen, and she's like, "Yes." Just takes
Sure,
Eleanor's hand and like, "Shh."
Sheriff, I'm so sorry to even suggest this, but I have to agree with the others. I think an autopsy is probably the way to go.
Well, that'll take a bit. Pretty much everybody's been buried at this point, so it would be talking to their families about digging up bodies and getting permission to do so.
So who's
And-
freshest?
Yeah.
Well, most recently, were the farmhouses. Well, it was Sia Farmhouse who died last, and then her father, Peter Farmhouse, died the night before her.
Nevi is gonna look at the others. So,
I
do we
guess
choose?
go to the scene of the last crime and see if we can find hints.
Yeah.
That sounds reasonable. I can take you out to the farmhouse's home. As he kind of like gets up from the table, like complaining about bones creaking and this, that, and the other. Suddenly, a halfling, very well freckled, curly, dark brown, black hair, bursts into the office in a complete panic. Whoa, Wilbur, calm down, calm down. What's the problem? Oh, a monster just tried to kill me in my sleep, but I trapped it under a bucket, and then I ran straight here, Sheriff, straight here. Well, I think we got the idea what's suffocating people then.
The bucket.
The bucket. Not what's trapped under it. Definitely the bucket. Wilbur, let's go see this bucket.
As they're walking, following them, I'm just going to approach Dr. Ray and be like, do tell me, in your studies, how does a bucket suffocate?
Oh, if the bucket is too small, then it creates sort of a vacuum, so you only have very little, the amount of air inside of it that you can breathe, which doesn't last for very long, and then eventually you just die of suffocation because you can't get the bucket off because your head swells.
So this is a magical bucket that latches on over one's head.
Yeah, sometimes they're transparent. I feel like it would be really great for like walking under the ocean, maybe. You could create like if only you could pump more air into it, but we're not there yet. Basically, when you suffocate, your head just gets really big and fills up the bucket.
Interesting. I do like this. I'll keep this noted.
Yes, just in case.
So, you all head to Wilbur's house, which is about a half-hour walk from the sheriff's office. You arrive at this halfling-sized wooden cabin. As you enter, you see it's a pretty simple layout. You see a bedroom with a large bed, and there is an open window letting in the cool autumn breeze. Right next to the bed, you see an upside-down bucket on the floor. Now, right there, right under that bucket.
Lilith will knock on the bucket.
Knock on the bucket. Sounds like a wooden bucket.
Is there any sound of something moving inside the bucket?
Roll a perception check.
Well, that sucked. That would be a 4.
Starting good. Nope, you don't hear
Yep.
anything. Sounds like a wooden bucket.
Yeah, sounds like a bucket.
I also rolled perception,
Okay.
and that's a 27.
You don't hear anything either. Sounds like a bucket.
Great. Great. How impeded am I, a large creature, by this space?
Well, you're not large. You're still medium sized.
Okay.
You're just tall, but it's more like you have to duck and kind of stoop a little. It's like being in a really old English cottage.
Okay.
The proportions are just a little uncomfortable
Okay.
for someone of your height.
6 foot something.
Yeah. You gotta watch the beams and kind of move your head a little every so often. You're standing a lot like this, at a cockeyed angle.
Gonna have to
But-
go to the chiropractor.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, we do not have our good meaty flesh bag Canine with us, and I am honestly quite tired of being the flesh bag usually. So I'm going to step away from the bucket. Dr. Ray, if I recall, you do have that ability to, touch and move things from a distance.
I do. That's true.
I could prepare something either to blow up whatever is underneath that bucket or to hold it still.
Okay.
Any
With
other?
another option,
Yeah.
I would be happy to shrink down and creep underneath the bucket.
That
Oh.
is an option. I like where your mind's going, but keep in mind, you're on your own if you go in that bucket with whatever's in there.
They really be threatened by a little spider, though.
Yes.
I have seen giants threatened by spiders.
That's fair.
While
We'll
this
just keep that one in a back pocket.
while this conversation's happening, can I inspect the room for like mold?
Yeah, roll investigation check.
Just because I get the sense that somebody might be hallucinating, so I just want to look for a reason for that. 17.
17. Okay, as you're inspecting the room, you find breadcrumbs on the bedroom floor, on the pillows, and on the windowsill.
Ugh. What have these people
they look-
done? Did they not get a maid?
Do they look fresh? Do they look stale? Do they look moldy? Do they look soggy? Please describe the state of the breadcrumbs.
Breadcrumbs.
We need a description of the color, the
Yes.
smell.
Are they more like croutons? Is there garlic?
They are not stale, but they're definitely not. It doesn't seem like it came from well baked bread.
Yuck. Okay.
Like it's like some of the crumb is kind of dry, and it looks like it's a little mealy in places.
Mhm. I'm gonna sweep some of that into a little vial and
Okay.
plug it up and put it in my pocket.
Heard. Done.
Is Nevi going to be familiar with the bread? Is she going to notice anything in particular about it that might be helpful?
You have not had the bread before. It is breadcrumbs.
Nevi, Nevi, take that breadcrumb away from your mouth. Do not eat.
Nevi's
It
just
does
gonna
not go
tuck
in the
it
mouth.
into her pouch.
It's like a 2-year-old or a dog. Spit it out. Spit it out. What do you have?
Grabs her chin. Get it out of your mouth. Okay.
Lilith
well,
is like, give.
I prepare
In
fireball. No, I'm kidding.
I'm prepared to mage hand swat the bucket over if you want. But it could be. I'm just gonna follow your lead.
Hey, looks over. Did the gentleman that come and get us with us still, or is he like waiting outside?
No, they're there. The sheriff and Wilbur's here.
Before we lift this bucket here, can you please describe this monster that you saw at the best that you can?
Well, I didn't get a good look at it. It was dark and it was choking me. And so I just kind of threw it on the floor, and then I threw the bucket on it, and then I ran to get the sheriff.
Describe this choking feeling a little bit more. What was it like?
Max.
Oh no.
It's like-
How is Kaneen the non-chaos force right now? Like, how is he the one that makes this group grounded?
She looks back, it's like, well, how was it suffocating you? Was it just clasping itself over your mouth? Was it...
I think that it was just like a pressure
Okay.
on my face, almost like if you held a pillow over your face.
Right.
Wilbur,
Mhm.
you weren't holding your pillow over your face, were you?
Not this time.
Okay.
Oh, not this
Here.
time. So you speak from experience. You know what you're talking about. Okay.
Well, sometimes I sleep, eat, and
Oh, you
tried to
nom
eat my
nom the
pillow
pillow.
before.
Mm.
Were you sleep eating bread by any chance? Because there's crumbs everywhere.
I don't think so this time.
Hmm. Well, that's odd.
I mean, maybe.
Is this a
Well,
common thing for you, Wilbur?
Sleep eating? Not super common, but it's not uncommon either. Halfling
Fantastic.
appetites and all. You know.
Great. Nevi's just gonna kind of back away a little bit.
Well, Dr. Ray, as Lilith will step back behind the group and will pull a soul out of Eleanor. I'm ready when you are. And I'll have Eldritch Blast prepared if something moves from the bucket. If it's inanimate and doesn't move, she won't shoot. But if it moves towards us, she's shooting.
Okay.
All right. Here goes nothing. I mage hand the bucket over.
You bitch slap the bucket. And as you do so, it tumbles over. And about nearly a dozen pieces of bread come falling out. About 2 dry buns and 8 little stumpy looking baguettes.
Lilith will let out a slight scream. Peasant bread!
Of course she does.
It's only gluten intolerance. It's fine. It's not that bad.
Nevi's eyes are gonna light up at the baguettes. Just, ooh.
No! Nevi?
Are they
A bit.
moving?
Yeah.
Nope.
They're just bread.
Just bread.
I'm gonna pick up one of the baguettes and inspect it.
It's a baguette. Go ahead and roll investigation to see if you get anything detaily out of it.
Ooh, is
15.
it? Gee, Christ.
15. It's definitely a baguette. It does not look like it has been allowed to rise properly before it was baked. It wasn't. It's definitely underproofed.
The horrors. Do your
Paul
people not
Hollywood
know
would be
anything
very
about
upset.
yeast?
And it, as well, it seems like it hasn't been like sliced properly on the top, so the crust is a little bit too hard in most places. And it just isn't well done. But it's bread, technically.
Can I smell it?
Sure, it smells like bread.
Cool.
Well, congratulations, Wilbur. You almost suffocated while eating in your sleep again.
Oh, I could have sworn something was choking me, but
What did it look like?
Yourself. You're choking yourself.
I didn't get to see it. I just threw it down and then put a bucket over it.
Well, what did it feel like when you threw it?
Kind of like a squishy like
Like bread?
like
he goes,
kind of
"Yeah."
like bread, but like bread if it had like a warm body.
So
When
fresh.
was the last time
Baked
you were
bread.
with somebody?
Well, that's kind of personal, isn't it? I mean, I suppose maybe I was just having a nightmare because of all of the deaths lately and people suffocating in their sleep. Maybe I did sleep eat and just dreamt that I was being choked by something because I was too busy eating.
Well, does this look like the bread that you have in your house? Because if so, you need a better baker.
No, I didn't buy those bread rolls
Mm.
or the baguettes. I didn't buy any of those. Those
Do you
look
have any
like they're
friends that
from-
may have brought them over?
If so, better friends.
No, no, I wouldn't think so. I mean, there's just one bakery in town, but I haven't bought breads there since about 2 days ago, I think. Already ate that.
Give me, Wilbur. I cut you off. You said that the bread looked like it came from somewhere?
Oh yeah, the only bakery in town, Barra's Bakery. Yeah, he's not a very good baker, but he tries, and we try to encourage him and give him maybe some friendly criticism every so often.
Wilbur?
Sometimes you have to give critiques a little bit more harshly to get it through a hard head sometimes. Such as, your bread is shit, do better.
I mean, that's just
I mean,
it's
look
just
at
not
this god
who
awful
we are
toss.
here.
I'm gonna take one of the rolls and one of the baguettes and put them in a handy crime scene baggie.
Okay. That you just carry on you. I believe
Yeah,
it. I believe it.
Wilbur, do you think there are biscuits in this bakery?
Maybe?
If it's
Surely
anything like
he
this
couldn't.
bread, I'll burn down that bakery.
Yeah. I'm inclined to
Surely he
agree.
couldn't put some biscuits, though.
Oh, you'd
Never
be
say
never.
surprised.
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
Wilbert, if you can think back through the rest of your day before the event of the choking, was there anything that was out of the ordinary, unusual, something different?
Not really. I spent my evening after I got done working at Lumpy Pumpkin Tavern. That's not unusual.
The name is.
What?
Nothing. I guess we should go take some of this bread over to the bakery and see if there's any connection.
Mm-hmm. I hold up my crime scene baggie filled with bread. Got it.
Abby
Okay,
has
well-
a baguette that she's picking that middle part of the bread out of.
Well, I'll be at the Lumpy Pumpkin if you need me. If you run into anything or have any other questions. And Wilbur goes ahead and leaves out. Sheriff Brown is like, well, if we're going over to Barra's Bakery, you can just follow me. I don't suggest trying any of the bread. Like I said, it's not good. He tries real hard, but he's not great at it. It's his second career. He's starting again.
What was his first career?
Murder.
That's more of something for him to talk to you about if he wants. We'll go this way. And he goes ahead and leads you all out into the bakery. And the bakery itself is very tidy, as you can see from the front window. And it has a very fetchingly arranged storefront, honestly, and is very well decorated and well painted. Once upon entering, there's a little bell that dings and over the door. And it actually smells lovely whenever you enter, and you can see kind of through the door a very well-equipped kitchen in the back. The oven's going, and the arrangement inside is beautiful. You see there are a variety of breads on offer. You see buns, some short baguettes, salty pretzels, a few other bread loaves with a few having very, very thick, generously cut slices. as you come in and kind of get your bearings and glance around, a human man comes out. He's flour dusted, looks like he's been up to a lot of work recently, and he's got this thin goatee and this dark kind of blackish hair that looks like at one point it was kind of like tamped down or slicked back, but through work there's now like flour in it and it's a bit frazzly poofed as he comes out and into the front. Oh, welcome. I am Baron Barra of Barra's Bakery. This is my establishment. It's lovely to have new customers in town. If you'd like to go ahead and peruse the cases, or I do take special orders on request. Hi,
He is
Sheriff.
already over sniffing all of the baked goods, just happy as can be.
We'll look over towards Dr. Ray. What hellish Disney fake magic is this?
I have no idea.
This
And
is-
I just take out the crime scene baggie and hold it up. You were saying something?
I was just wondering, does this match the description at all of what the others were talking about?
I don't know. I mean, it looks good in here, right?
Yeah. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
It smells good, looks good. I mean, they say he's a shit baker, but he's a god-awful interior designer. I might hire him. But I'm concerned about the bread. Again, they basically described it as god-awful, and here we are, and everything here looks delicious.
I grab a baguette from a display of baguettes that I assume exists. Is there a display of baguettes? I suppose I should ask. Okay.
Yes, there is.
Great. I'm gonna grab one and compare it to the one in the bag.
They look
How do
very
they-
similar.
Okay. Similarly underproved, stale.
Yeah.
Okay.
Similarly, not great. Like from a distance, they probably look fine, and like they look fine in the displays. But whenever you kind of actually scrutinize them, they're not great bread. They're not awful. Like not completely inedible. It's just like whenever you're first learning how to bake bread. It looks
First-
okay from away, but like then you open it and it's either like really dry or underproofed or overproofed.
The first bread I baked looked like a pizza crust. So I hear this.
Yeah.
Tasted
So
like a
it's
pizza crust too.
It's like baby's first bread.
Yeah. Okay. So I turn to Lilith and I'm like, they do look the same, don't they? And to Nevi, I'm like, these look the same, right?
Evie turns around with a pretzel in her mouth. She's like,
How's it taste?
She put it in her mouth.
it's not the best pretzel I've ever had, but it's edible. It's not bad.
Okay. Just need some mustard or some liquefied cheese or something. Whatever you eat a
Nevi
pretzel
keeps
with.
munching.
Okay, so one pretzel. And he marks it down in his
Excuse me, sorry. We're actually here as the law, and so don't cops eat free? Isn't that the law?
I wish, says the sheriff.
All right. Whatever. I'll pay the tab. It's fine. Your bread,
Thank you.
no problem. The number of biscuits you supply, it's fine. Lilith, do you want to handle this, or should I?
By all means.
Or Nevi, you can too, but you seem pretty distracted by your pretzel, so I don't want to disturb you.
So good.
Okay.
Isn't that? Is it?
It's carbs.
I once had a pretzel from a cart on like Fifth Ave, that was clearly like microwaved but badly, and it cost me $5, and it was raw inside, and so that is what I am imagining. Yeah, it was
Oh
tragic.
no.
Ah,
That's the day I learned, one,
No,
don't
no.
buy pretzels from pretzel carts on Fifth Avenue, and two, always haggle at those carts because it's not going to be worth it. Okay, so anyway, that's what I'm imagining.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
No, it's done on the inside. It's maybe a little tougher than I would have liked.
It's definitely baked all the way through. It is certainly drier than it should be. And it takes a bit of gnawing to break off a piece.
He's happily chewing on it. Just
Like it's jerky.
Pretzel jerky.
I don't like that.
Only jerky I'll eat.
So, Dr. Ray, I mean, by all means.
Sure, I've got the baggie. Mr. Bard,
Nope.
Bingo.
Definitely Bara. But
Okay,
that's
Bara.
okay.
All right, sir. Your bread. I'm a physicist, by the way, so sorry if the cop parlance is bad. So your bread was found at the scene of a crime last night, and the victim had not bought bread in 2 days. Can you explain that for us? Because, and I hold up the current baguette and the crime scene baguette, they look kind of the same. It's like your signature. So can you like explain that?
Well, I'm the only bakery in town, so everyone comes in from time to time to buy bread. Maybe someone had bought bread, came to visit them, and forgot it?
It was an exorbitant amount of bread to just like forget or drop. It was like 8 dinner rolls and several baguettes or something. I didn't take notes. It was a lot of bread. And there were some crumbs leading to and from the window. Do you have any customers who act like the Sandman but for bread?
I mean, I don't know what people do with their purchases after they purchase them. That's kind of not my problem what they do with their bread. And from what you're saying, apparently they do some weird stuff with their bread, so I kind of don't want to know now.
Where were you between the hours of bedtime and now?
In my bed for a portion of it, and then I get up early to come and start the dough in the morning and fire up the ovens and bake the loaves for the day. So usually around 4 or 5 in the morning is whenever I get up to go do that.
And then my 24 seasons of Law and Order SVU are kicking in. Do you have an alibi? Can anybody confirm that you were asleep and then making bread? Because this bread looks kind of underproofed. No offense, but I watch a lot of cooking shows.
I don't know what those are, but
Don't worry about it.
I'm assuming there's some sort of like demonstration, but I mean I live alone, so no one was with me, and I run my shop alone.
So is it safe to say that when you leave work, you may be covered in crumbs?
Usually flour, like now, not so much crumbs. I mean, I do eat some of my own bread, you know, like what doesn't sell for the day typically becomes dinner. But other than that, not really.
How do you feel about the townsfolk? Is there anyone that you might not necessarily get along with? Someone who perhaps criticized the quality of your bread proofing?
Other than me.
They just mean well. They're trying to help. You know, it's hard starting over again somewhere that no one knows you. So they've been pretty welcoming as far as that's concerned.
So you're not from here. Where do you come from?
Uh, no, I was from a little bit over. Past is past.
Oh, I do love the past. There, you can learn so much from one's past. Do tell me, what did you used to do before you came here?
I studied some magics for a while, but it wasn't really for me.
So do I. I love magic. So does Eleanor. She picks up Eleanor from her waist, hanging from the noose, and just like waves. What type of magic did you study?
It's not very important. I wasn't any good at it, so I kind of
Did you
just
know there is a spell that actually makes food more delicious? Have you ever tried any spells in your food here?
no.
It's not cheating. We won't tell.
Oh no, God, it would help if you could do that.
Lilith, is that spell cinnamon? Sea
Uh,
salt?
it's called seasoning.
Oh, good. I love that spell.
No, I don't use any magic on my products. I just try to use old-fashioned hard work and gumption.
Maybe you should try magic.
Oh.
Abby sits
I'll
on the
just-
floor with a baguette and she's just starting to munch on it like, hey.
I mean, that's not really the road that I want to go with my business, but if that's what you wanted to do with yours, I respect that.
Where do you want to go with your business?
I just want a simple life where, I could start over again. So this is me trying to be simple and starting over.
Were you complicated before?
Yeah, you could say that. The aristocracy's a little complicated.
Aristocracy.
I have a title, but I gave it up to come here and do this.
With
Abby
the
kind of
mentioned
leans
title,
over with her baguette.
once he mentions that he has a title, Lilith like perks up, approaches her, sticks out her hand with her signet ring on, goes, Lilith Bathory, pleasure to meet you. Who's your family's name?
Bara,
Bara, is that your first or last name?
that's my last name. Is Bara.
Oh, so your name is Bara Bara.
Yeah,
No,
that's
my
right.
name is Aaron Bara, but
It's so peculiar that you only go by your last name and not by your first name. Why do you introduce us by your first name?
is that really that weird? I don't think that's very weird. He goes by Sheriff Brown. That's not his first name. Sheriff's not even his real name.
So sorry.
Welcome.
Amazing.
Sigh. So your family, just what did your family deal with? What type of business? What did you do?
They mostly owned land that had farms and stuff attached to it. I wasn't really into the family, business, I guess you could say.
I can understand that.
So I did my own thing for a while. Well, I tried to do what they wanted me to do, and I learned some magic, and then I tried to do my own thing with magic, and that didn't go well. So here I am. I'm trying baking.
You are doing a fine job.
Thank you.
There's room for improvement.
Can I give some
We all
advice?
have that.
Wake up at more like 2 or 3 so the bread really has time to prove. It'll really help, I think.
Oh, early. Okay.
Do you use yeast? Does it actually proof? Does it actually rise?
Yes, there's yeast in the dough.
Hard to tell. It's a little bit dense.
Well,
Perhaps perhaps someday we could help trade recipes and experience.
Right.
If you're open to that, of course.
All right.
Well,
Yeah.
Bara, darling sweetie, has there been any unusual people that has come to your bakery lately? Made a large purchase of bread, maybe? Anything
Or
unusual or out of the norm?
Yeah, has any bread gone missing? Have any inventory counts been strange?
Has you
Nebby's gonna watch with the big
get.
get.
Nothing particularly unusual with purchases. Millie always bought large quantities of bread, but then she passed, and Clara was my most regular customer. She came about once a day to buy a loaf of bread, but she's also one of the victims. So
Who was the last person to buy something from you? Was it our good friend? What was his name again? Wilbert?
Wilbur.
It looks like the last person to buy bread for me was Sheriff Brown, actually.
Dun dun dun.
Oh, how the turns have tabled.
The crumbs lead us to the culprit.
Nice.
Actually, though, before you guys go or get any further, it should be just cool. And he scurries back behind and into the kitchen, and he comes back with a tray of fish-shaped bread, taiyaki, if you're familiar. And he goes ahead and gives one to each of you. Smelling them, they're kind of a sweet-smelling bread, and whenever you squish them, there seems to be some sort of filling in them. I've been working really hard on this recipe, and I think I finally nailed it. As you look at them a little closer, they're a bit burnt on the edges, just from the initial inspection, but...
Nebby's gonna hold it up. Are there actually fish in this?
No, it's got like a sweet custard in the middle. It's like a dessert bread.
Okay, so no floaty bits or...
No, there's no fish at all.
Oh, good. Okay.
It's a vanilla custard inside.
Nebby is going to look at the bread, and then she's gonna look at Lilith like, okay?
I unfortunately have never learned the ability to identify things. You're my kind of personal taster. You know, there is a role for that back where I come from, where people would taste my food first before I ate it.
I know, sweetheart, but that was not me.
But you can fill in.
So, player thinks this is a trap, but character eats the bread.
Okay.
Because character is an orphan and does not deny food.
You bite into the bread. It's definitely a little bit burnt at the edges, like the sugar in the bread has kind of like caramelized on the edges. And the inside filling is a little bit watery, but it's actually pretty decent. It's not terrible. It's definitely not perfect. Like he said that he finally perfected it. Not perfect, but it's edible. And as you bite into it, the sheriff also takes a bite and is like, "Not bad, Bara. I like the fish shape."
If this is a trap, it's a decent trap. I like the custard. Could use a little more thickening, but you know, it's good. I finish eating the bread.
Yeah, Lilith doesn't trust this at all. I mean, I love you both, but your sense of taste is not as refined as mine.
It's true. I had to pick through the trash. You know, whatever. This is way better than trash bread. It doesn't even have mold on it.
Is there a garbage bin anywhere in
There's
the...
not.
He's just gonna hold on to it then, because custard's not really her thing.
Okay.
Custard's not really my thing either. It jiggles. It's unnatural. I can't. No.
It jiggles. I don't like jiggling. I will hold on to the fish thing, just in case.
Okay.
Thank you.
Dr. Ray and Nevi, you notice whenever Dr. Ray gave the criticism of the watery custard, he kind of like grits his teeth a little bit harder, and his face turns a little bit red. And he's like clutching the tray a little harder.
Well, that's ominous. I feel like I've just eaten a trap, but nothing I can do about it now. Although I sort of mentally note to see if the people who have died have all given Bara constructive criticism about his bread.
I mean, we did speak with Wilbur. He did say that they, including himself, has given him constructive feedback on how to make the bread better.
Breader.
Breader.
Nevi's gonna reach into her bag and pick out some delicious biscuits, the good kind.
Ooh, biscuits.
And she's gonna offer them with a smile, just as kind of a peace offering, hoping to, soothe him a little bit. Thank you so much. Here, have some biscuits. Thank you for sharing with us.
Thanks. I appreciate that. And he takes them and kind of like stacks them on the side of this tray. And he's like, if you'll excuse me, I'll go put this back in the kitchen. And he goes back into the back.
It was really good. I did enjoy it. Please continue your recipe. Try it again. You've got something.
Don't kill me.
Please.
Starch is key.
Looking to the others, I'm like, I do find it quite unusual. He dabbles in magic, but no longer does.
Yeah, that was really sus.
One does not dabble in magic and just let it go.
Mm-mm.
And one doesn't just set biscuits on a tray and not eat them.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most horrible thing he's done all day.
I know, your
That's
biscuits
true.
are so delicious. Can I have one?
Of course.
Yeah, biscuit. So
Do we hear him doing anything back there?
Roll a perception check.
Teen.
What was that? I'm sorry, I missed the beginning of it.
Sorry, 14.
14. Okay. You do hear kind of like clanging, but you can't make out if it's clanging of like doing work or if it's clanging of like slamming things on purpose. It's hard to tell if it's a fit or if that's just how he works.
There was definitely no crunching of biscuits or yummy noises, right?
And there were no crunching of biscuits or yummy noises.
Unbelievable.
okay.
I'm gonna look to see if there's like a customer log or like an account or like a register, like a logbook kind of thing.
Okay.
And if
yeah,
there is,
you saw
take
him writing down an account book earlier. So that's out on the like main table of the like kind of display counter area.
All right, I'll take it and replace it with a single piece of paper that says warrant on it.
Seems legit.
While Dr. Ray is doing that, Lilith will look over to Nevi. Nevi, I'm going to call upon my friend. You know what happens when that happens. If somebody was to come in, just kind of give me a little shake, wake me up from my little trance, okay? Or just lead me out. Friend.
I will always protect you, Lilith.
And Lilith will look down towards Eleanor hanging to her side. A friend, please come out. as the Quasette comes out in a centipede form, just crawls out of the broken face, down Eleanor, down Lilith onto the floor, and will scurry into the back room stealthily that he went into, and she will switch into vision and look through her fiend's eyes.
Okay, go ahead and roll stealth check for that.
Let me pull up the closet. There it is. Oh, that's not really stealthy. Let's see.
Nope.
Stealth is a dex mod. We got this, fam. Hey, wow, closets are actually quite stealthy. But even with that, it's still a 9.
Okay.
That's a loud ass fucking centipede.
Yeah, it just goes.
It doesn't necessarily mean it's loud. It just means it's not good at blending in necessarily.
I will have it go into its invisible mode.
Ooh.
Okay, so roll with advantage.
Hey, that's better. 19.
19. Okay. So it begins to crawl into the back room. And as it enters the back room, you see that the baker Bara is kind of going about like cleaning up and putting some more like bread in the oven and switching things around. But as he's doing so, he's like mumbling under his breath angrily and kind of slamming things down, and seems generally upset and pissed off.
Obviously, I can only see or hear. I can't do both. I'm going to try to position the centipede a little bit closer and switch from sight to hearing to see if I can overhear what he's mumbling or saying.
Okay, roll a perception check. I'm gonna say a disadvantage for that one because you're a tiny bug on the ground and
Sure.
he's mumbling way high above you.
Yeah, sure. I can do that. Let's see. That is an 18.
18. Okay. You're able to catch like bits and pieces of what do they know, and this will show them, and just wait, they'll see. It'll be done soon. They'll regret it.
Red herring. Player, not character. I
Because
will.
it's fish bread.
Hey, I didn't even mean it that way. Thank you for grabbing that. That's why we love you so much. I would like to position my closet in a decent spot for viewing, as long as it's in invisibility mode, where it has a better vantage of view, like have it crawl up along the wall and like nestle in the corner somewhere. And once it's there, I'll snap back to... Interesting. I do think we have a little bit more to learn about our good baker here, but it might be best to give him some distance. Don't worry, though. We have eyes on this place, so...
Do we?
Yes.
Okay. No further questions.
Yeah.
Does
Okay.
not clarify, just says yes. No explanation, only yes.
I believe you.
Will it be all right, Lilith? Nothing will happen to a friend, will it?
Oh, wait. Oh, my friends?
Mhm.
It should be...
Our friend, we're, you know.
He'll be fine. And remember, I can call him back in case he does get in danger.
Good. Thank you.
So
I have no idea what's going on, but I trust you. Against my better judgment, admittedly, I trust you.
I'll be happy to inform you a little bit more once we're outside.
Sounds good.
Uh,
Well, I don't have anything else to do in here unless there's an obvious thing sticking out that says my plan for murder.
Not that you can see.
All right.
I have to pull up. So yeah, if we are done here, I'll lead the group out. And once we're outside, out earshot of the baker and anybody else that might be in the area, I'm assuming it's kind of deserted and not too many people are around.
Yeah, there's like
Yeah.
no one outside.
And Sheriff Brown is still with us, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Looking off to Sheriff Brown. Sheriff Brown, does he have a temperament that you are aware of?
Well, I sometimes Bar can be a little frustrated with things, considering his trying to start over and everything like that. I don't know if I'd call it a temper, but he can get a little upset with himself.
Well, I'm not sure if you saw or not. I have a good friend of mine that's able to scout and show me things that others sometimes cannot see. And I was able to see what was happening with that noise that we heard back there. And I definitely saw a man with quite a bad temper. In fact, he even said that I will show them. Just you wait. It's almost ready. I'm like,
Well, couldn't he be talking about like bread, like better bread?
I
Or
mean,
perhaps
Show us that his bread's better.
or perhaps a doomsday device.
Hey.
Please continue. You were about to say something much smarter than I.
she's just, sure. Yes, one could say that, but usually in contents of situations and how he acts, the body language, the facial expression, the tone of voice didn't quite match an individual's like, oh, I'll show them, I'll give them a better bread. No, it was more like, I'll show them by killing them.
I mean, was his anger, was he just kneading the dough or punching it out? Maybe he said that it would take time because he was letting it rise properly?
Well, the reason why I did lead us out here was so that he felt like he was by himself again and go back to his natural habits, but I can still look in on what he's doing. The only caveat to that, as Nevi you are familiar with, is when I do look through the eyes of my friend, I kind of lose sense of what's going on around me. So just be aware, guide me around, lead me to where we need to go, but just know that if something was to happen around us, you have to jolt me and awaken me as I watch him.
These are the times when I miss Kaneen and his shoulder saddle.
I do miss my mount sometimes. I mean, Kaneen. Anyways, toodaloo. Her eyes will just fog over to a white glaze, and she'll go back to watching the baker.
Okay, he's just baking, doing normal bakery stuff.
I don't trust it!
Is he still angry, or does he appear to have
Calm down.
taken a beat and...
I mean, he doesn't seem like as frustrated, but he definitely has like a sense of purpose while he's doing things. He seems like he's driven.
Player-wise, she's just dead set on, like, he's using magic still. He's trying to use magic to make his bread better, and he just sucks at it.
You haven't seen him use magic in the time that you've been doing this.
Yeah, and that's what I was waiting to see if he would do that after we left. But I'll wait a moment longer, and if he still doesn't do anything out of the norm, I'll go back and I'll recall Nick.
How long is a moment?
Let's say 5 minutes.
Okay. You guys stand outside and wait for another 5 minutes. Doesn't seem to do anything out of the ordinary. You see him get, like some starter from a fairly large, like, jug of starter yeast and put it in and start kneading it into a new batch of dough.
How many doorways are into this room, by the way, besides the one that the centipede walked through?
There's the main one that connects to the shop front, and then there's one that goes like out the back. It looks
Okay.
like.
But there's no like cellar door or anything like that.
No.
Okay.
There's like an open like archway to like a supply area.
Yeah, but okay. I will call back Nyx. You guys will see a whisper of kind of mist and smoke crawl across the ground and back up into Eleanor's head, cracked skull. And as it does that, the eyes go back to normal for Lilith. Okay. Well, he's just baking, and nothing out of the norm has happened since.
I think we should go inspect the graves. Just a hunch.
Okay. I'm kind of at a loss right now, so let's take your lead and
It
check
just
it
seems
out.
like you'd be comfortable in a graveyard, right? That's like your thing.
I mean, yes.
Mhm.
It's quite peaceful there.
It is. Good place to read a book.
Right?
Nobody will bother you.
I love reading a book in a graveyard.
So quiet.
It is, and no one goes there often.
Mm-mm.
A couple
Abby's
weeks
just
here and there.
nibbling a biscuit while they chat. Just like, I don't hang out in graveyards.
Yeah, you're missing out.
Graveyards are the best place to read a good book of poetry.
It's true. Or write a song.
Or lose your virginity if you're Mary Shelley.
Really?
Yeah, she lost her virginity
Really?
on her mother's grave.
You know what?
Wow.
That's that's
I'm
so
going now
Victorian edgy.
mentally.
Isn't it Victorian as fuck?
I'm mentally cataloging this. I'm like, this is going to be a good character for another D&D game.
Oh man, Mary Shelley is wild. Like, what a bisexual goddess.
Love
Bless
her.
With her just friends. With all of her letters to her friend who she loved dearly, but they were just friends.
Victorians.
Wink.
Victoria.
All bisexual, all moody.
Yeah. She very explicitly talks about sexual things and doing sexual things with her best friend, but they were just best friends.
Oh yeah. Just gals being
I
pals.
mean,
Just gals.
My
just
best
gals.
friend
If
has
you-
just the softest of hands, so gentle and caress, slender and slim. They just.
I love when they're on my vagina.
There's
I
a
mean-
save.
it's a play date. If you can't have that with your bestie, who can you do that with?
Somebody hashtagged my company's thing on Instagram. Vajacial. They have a business
Oh,
for a vajacial.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
Facial
For your vajayjay, yeah.
Yeah.
your lady cave.
Yeah.
The
that's
joke.
Nice.
Really
The jokes, I'm like, what is this? Some guy with a power washer?
Yeah. It just sounds like it's gonna fuck up your pH to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
time to exfoliate.
But they
I just wanna
hashtagged
feel
our
like-
company. It's like, what?
I just want to tell
Aw.
those people, like, you do realize that's a self-sustaining, like, ecosystem there. Like, if you do things to it, it's just gonna fuck it up. Like, just let it be.
Don't get a yeast infection. Don't get BV. Just let things go. You'll
let
you'll
her
thank us
be.
for it later.
And now I'm wondering how they do extractions. I'm uncomfortable.
I don't want to know. There's a lot I don't want to know.
Is this the part where,
Fascinating.
again, Lilith steps in and it's like, well, you see, Nevi, and this younger individual starts parenting and giving advice to...
Nope, I don't.
Nevi's whole face just drops and she gets even whiter, just like, oh.
I don't want to know about what these rich ladies do to their vaginas because you know it's rich white ladies. It's
Oh,
gotta
yeah.
be
Oh, yeah.
rich white ladies.
Rejuvenating.
Yeah. hmm
Just thought there was bedazzling that happened.
There is vajazzling. Yeah,
There is,
that
that is a thing.
That is a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand. It sounds like it would catch on things and that just makes a mess.
I feel like
Just
this is
let
another
your
one of those
vagina look
for
like a vagina.
our little artwork, the more you know star.
Like,
Welcome
Men-
to the Night of the Living Bread and Vajacials.
men are so proud of their penises and don't do anything to change their penises to make them more palatable. Why do women always feel like we need to change our vaginas to make them more palatable? I just don't understand. I just don't get it.
I'm just not flexible enough to show mine off properly, so, you know, alone I leave it.
Enough yoga and we can fix that.
Nevi, did you
Great.
forget you are a druid? You can polymorph into a cat and reach.
Everything.
You are right.
You forgot?
But that comes with
Nevi, we've had this discussion. Did you forget you can change into other beasts?
hairballs.
You could change into yourself, but with a
You
more
can be-
flexible spine.
You can be this hairless.
Ooh.
You can be a hairless cat.
I
Which
with all due
stick to
respect,
things.
Lilith, I think that they look like you would enjoy them more.
I mean, they are
Just-
quite adorable, and their demeanor I absolutely love. They are my spirit
Just
animal.
looks so angry.
But did you also
Goblins.
forget, though, you can be bigger
Goblins.
creatures that can, take a couple poundings? Hey.
That's true. And Nevi's just going to quietly contemplate this.
This is a weird combination of conversations altogether. So we're moving on. Do you guys want to go to the graveyard, or we can check
Yes,
out some
graveyard.
of the other victims' houses? Okay, graveyard. Great. All right.
Dr. Ray
and-
wants the graveyard. We're going to the graveyard. We're going to dig up bodies and autopsy them.
Well,
This whole
not gonna
conversation
dig
had to
them
be
up,
for
but-
something.
I'm not going to dig them up now.
I'm not beyond exhuming a body if need be, but for now, I just want to check to see if the graves are intact.
Okay. The sheriff leads you to a modest graveyard next to the temple, the only temple in town at Millwood. The temple itself features, as you can see from the outside, symbols of harvest and health. You see things to Melora, the goddess of nature and harvest. And the doors seem currently shut to the temple, but the graveyard just adjacent, it just has a small wooden gate that you easily open and go in. You can see there are 7 fresh graves.
All right, I will inspect the area around the graves generally first to see
Okay.
if there's any I should focus on specifically.
Okay, go ahead and roll investigation.
17.
17. As you kind of inspect each of the graves, there's nothing particularly out of the ordinary for graves. They all seem very well decorated and well loved, each of them. Some have like a bunch of flowers on them. You notice one has a lot of like small stones kind of piles next to the grave, some into like small cairns. And then you see another one that has what looks like a small like plate for incense to burn on it and things like that, with some like ash from burnt incense on it, as well as what seems like someone has planted freshly 2 plants on either side of that grave, but nothing particularly out of the ordinary for a graveyard.
We smell anything in the graveyard?
You can smell different flowering plants, but nothing that alarms you or you find strange.
Nothing bakery adjacent?
No.
Can I look more closely at the one that is like particularly well taken care of?
All of them are pretty well taken care of.
Oh, okay.
Especially with the fresh ones. They all seem like they have like a lot of tokens like left at them and things like
Okay.
that.
So I was hoping for some sort of hint of like ones that aren't well taken care of or ones that are, but if they're about the same,
I was kind of hoping for crumbs around one of them.
Yeah, me too.
Well,
Lilith, do you feel anything around here? Do you have any inclinations or leanings towards a particular grave to look closer at?
nope. It's a graveyard. A very nice graveyard. Peaceful, quiet. Not too many people around. The smell of fresh dug dirt is quite comforting. But looks like there's nothing, at least at this moment, that stands out.
Okay.
Do love the nature in this place. It's very soothing.
It's very earthy. It speaks to my soul. Very dreary. I like it.
Oh, well.
Me too.
Reverend Brought was one of the first to die in the string of deaths. If you wanted to investigate the temple some more or talk to the acolyte who's replacing him, Soreen.
Sure. That sounds like
Right.
a good place to go. Would you
Yep.
be so kind to lead the way, good Sheriff Brown?
Sure, yeah.
What is your first name?
I gotta click
It's
over to
Bobby.
where
Is it Sheriff?
It's
Sheriff.
Sheriff.
Sheriff Brown.
Bernard.
Bernard.
Sheriff Bernard Brown. That's me. My wife was Emma Brown.
She still is. She's just dead. But she's still Emma Brown, right?
I am rubbing off on you.
Well, let's go to the temple. And he's just gonna make his way
Wait.
to the temple door.
Before we do that, can I look at her wife's grave?
Sure, yeah.
Just real quick.
Yep. You kind of glance through the graveyard until you find a gravestone that says Emma Brown. It shows that she passed away 2 years ago. And the gravesite itself has like a flower vase kind of built into it that looks like it's regularly replaced with flowers. And it has like a ribbon tied around it that looks like it's pretty regularly changed out whenever it starts to get tattered, a new one's put in, and everything. It's very well cared for.
If we had stopped there for a moment, Lilith will take a moment. I do apologize if we've come off a little bit unsensitive about your situation. It must be hard to have lost a dear one. But may I ask, how did she pass away?
She was very ill for a while, and then eventually it just kind of took her.
I see. You miss her dearly, don't you?
I do, yes.
Are there any flowers as we were walking towards this area?
Like just growing wild.
Wildflowers? Yep.
Not really. It's autumn, so there's not like a ton of wildflowers growing in the area. You'd kind of have to go hunt them down.
Biscuits.
Sorry. If you have druidcraft, you can grow flowers.
Ooh.
If you have that as a cantrip. I don't know what cantrips you have, but
I do not.
that's like the one good
Close.
thing that druidcraft does.
I like how cheerful you
Instead-
were about that. You're like, I do
I
not.
don't.
Nevi's gonna feel bad about the lack of flowers that the group is able to provide, so she's just going to take like her best biscuit and set it right on the grave.
Okay.
A flower with you.
Baked good puns.
They're not gonna stop.
Nevi's gonna quietly fist bump Doctor.
So you guys go ahead up to the temple door, and the sheriff knocks on the door after trying the handle first, and it doesn't seem to budge. But then he knocks, and you hear from the other side, you should just leave. The temple's quarantined from the sickness. No one's allowed in.
Looks to Sheriff
Sickness?
Brown. Sickness?
Oh, wow.
Amazing.
Sheriff Brown turns to you and he's like, well, Serene, the acolyte that I was telling you was taking over the temple for Reverend Brought, she seems to think that the reason for everyone dying is because of some sort of illness. And you hear from the other side of the door, yes, Reverend Brought went to treat some sick people at Clove Farm. Oisin and Osha Clove. Then he died that very night. Yeah, well, you see, she thinks that he caught the illness from them, because then their children, Bree and Clive, died a few nights later, the same way Reverend Brought did, suffocated in their sleep.
Are they in the
He's
same
gonna-
room when they died?
The twins? Yeah.
Okay.
Nevi's gonna kind of slide up to the door and speak softly.
Do you want to build a snowman? Sorry.
I hate myself that my brain auto-filled the rest of that song.
Guess
What?
not.
Serene, isn't it the duty of the temple to remain open, though? For the
Duty.
people.
Well, if there's a deadly illness going around, it's best for everyone to quarantine and to shelter in place.
You have a responsibility.
To make sure everybody quarantines and shelters in place. I agree.
I don't want to come across as harsh, but that seems perhaps more self-centric than someone of your station should be.
It's okay. Just put some fabric over your face and stand 6 feet away from us, and we can talk safely. Don't worry about it.
They're a doctor. They
Yeah.
know.
Not a medical doctor, but they don't need to know that.
I heard
Wow.
that. I understand what you're saying and where you're coming from, but it really is best for everyone to just quarantine in their own homes. And if I were to leave from here, if I have also caught it from something that Reverend Brought had in the temple, then I could possibly and potentially spread it to the entire town, thus being responsible for everyone's deaths, just like Reverend Brought. And the cloves.
Nevi. Sorry, go
No,
ahead.
go on. No, you go.
Nevi's gonna look at Lilith and just kind of shrug and roll her eyes. And she is going to use Wild Shape. And she's going to shrink down to a little itty bitty spider.
Okay.
One is
Lime-
a spider, so adorable too. She's making me so proud. She
know.
should
A little leggy lady. Nevi's just
I'm
gonna
going to call you
scoot.
Charlotte.
Nevi's
Well,
gonna
what a
scoot
whipper.
under the door. What? Wait, Lilith, Charlotte dies.
And
No.
And
You
what
may
about
call-
Wilbur? That was the halfling you met at the beginning.
Yep.
So
What a
Here.
pig!
So now you need to go back and spin a message to him in your web.
He's fabulous. An amazing pig.
Oh, I don't
Um,
think Wilbur would like being called a pig.
We'll talk about it later.
Well, maybe he is a pig.
You don't know what he's into.
So Nevi's gonna scoot under the door and retain her. She's going to resume her normal shape
Oh,
and
bitch,
stand right
please.
next to Serene.
Stay away. Stay back. Stay back.
Stop that.
No.
This is silly. And so Nevi's gonna open the door and let the others in.
Hello, darling.
If everyone dies, it's on your heads.
You know,
Your
that's
fault.
We're okay with that.
I've
That's
killed a
probably true.
lot. We've done
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
we're not
Sure,
mercenaries,
you
but we're not
Brought
not
into the
merc.
town
We're here
We're
to
here
help.
to, yeah.
Oh, jinx.
and killing everyone's gonna help.
Mm. What makes you think the Reverend brought this?
Well, I don't think the Reverend brought it. I think it was the cloves. And
Okay,
then
what
the
makes-
Reverend caught it from the cloves and then spread it throughout the town.
Is there a reason why he went to the cloves? Was there something?
Yeah, they were
Strange.
sick.
What type of sick was it? Did they? Can you describe to us the ailments they had?
They were ill with like a cough and some breathing problems and like headaches.
And it was just the twins that died in the family, correct?
Yes, it was just the two children,
Okay.
Bree and Clive.
Was the whole family unwell, or was it just the children?
Well, it was the parents that were unwell initially, Oysen and Osha, and then the Reverend went to go treat them, and then a couple of nights later, Bree and Clive, the twins, died.
Were they showing any signs of illness, or was this a sudden onset of death?
I mean, they were sick as well from whatever their parents had and that they gave them, and I don't know the full details of it. The Reverend went to go treat them, and then he died. And so after that, I in the string of deaths after, I just barricaded myself here. Told everybody to do the same. Clearly, none of you are listening.
Low is the
He's
day,
gonna
Father,
smile at
please
her.
forgive this poor child, for she has turned her back on the sick and the needy. Please do not forget her. Please forgive her wrongdoings. And looks to her, child, I forgive you.
Nevi's gonna reach into her bag and hand
You
Lilith a
do that.
biscuit.
You might not understand how this works, but it's best whenever there's a rapid illness like this going around for people to not come into contact with each other.
True. That is true. But everybody else was healthy before they died, is my understanding. So what makes you think that, like, the cloves are the only one who were sick, right? Before they died?
Well, I mean, I guess we're sick for a long time, but I think Oysen and Osha were like carriers or something. They had it, but it didn't affect them as bad as everyone else, and it kind of set in faster for everyone else.
Have you considered an alternate cause, and that this might be a coincidence?
I don't know what else it could be. People just don't up and die choking to death overnight.
Choking.
I mean, sometimes they do, I guess. Our friend Wilbur, apparently he does lots of interesting things in his sleep.
Yeah, he almost died, but he caught the thing. And then it turned into bread. Holds up the evidence baggie. Does this ring any bells?
Looks like bread from Farah's bakery, but that's the only bakery in town, so yeah, that would be the only bread in town.
No, you're misunderstanding. Whatever it was turned into bread. It did not leave bread behind. It was a squishy thing. He caught it, he put it in a bucket, and then in the bucket was bread.
That sounds like a hallucination or Wilbur sleep eating again.
Both are possible. I did look for like mold and stuff. Didn't see any of that, and that's made people kill people thinking they're witches. But
Serene,
I'm just go
has
on.
there been any report of drugs in this town lately?
No, not here. It's a quiet town in Millwood.
My experience, that's where the drugs are.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Is
I
there a
don't-
meth lab out back or any place we should look at?
Like an Airstream trailer that looks disused.
Mhm.
uh,
Has some dark smoke coming out of the back.
I mean, no, but if you wanted to go talk to the Cloves, they're out at their farm.
Right. I think it's best that we go see these cloves and talk to them. Thank you, sweet child.
You're
Serene, if you need
welcome.
if you need anything, let us know. Reach
Yeah,
out.
Yeah, if you remember anything, if there's anything weird, anything bread related or other gastronomy things that you can think of, just
Beware the bread.
yeah. Just
I mean,
avoid gluten for the time being. Your stomach will thank you.
Reverend Brought did order a large amount of bread for the harvest ceremony and the harvest festival. Not long before he died, but
Did the material, the wheat, so the thing to make the bread, I'm assuming the bread was made at the bakery. Did he get his supplies from the farmers, the cloves?
I don't know where the baker gets his supplies from. I guess probably.
I think we gotta go there. Their rye might be spoiled. Their spelt might be spoiled. Spelt.
Spoiled.
Nevi's
spelt.
gonna take Dr. Ray's hand. Let's go. Start walking.
Goodbye.
Beware the bread.
Bye. And the door's shut again, and she bars it again.
Feel like if there was an extra bar, she'd put it up.
She wishes. She
Starts pounding nails in.
Stuffing rags under the door. Okay, so you guys are going to the Clove Farm?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys head out to the Clove Farm, and as you kind of get within sight of it, you see that it's a large pumpkin farm at the edge of Millwood.
Well, there goes that theory.
And you come up to the main door, and the sheriff knocks on the door, and there we go. Two humans kind of open the door. You see a probably like mid to late 40s and a woman in her like late 30s open the door, and you the sheriff greets them and says that you all are here to help with the mystery and everything, and they welcome you in, and they kind of sit you down around a kind of simple table in a very, very simple kitchen. Introduce themselves as Oisin and Osha Clove. They were previously ill with the flu and were treated by Reverend Brought, and they recovered a few days ago. And before, while they were ill, Bree and Clive, which were the twins, have been doing everything around the farm while they were sick, taking care of the harvest, running errands, like getting milk and bread and other things from town.
Clive Clove is
Yes,
his name.
Clive Clove. Bree
Okay.
Clove and Clive Clove.
Just checking.
Yep.
So there's that bread again. Everything goes back to the bread.
I mean, Bree does sound delightful, especially, if she brings crackers around. It's
Some pears, bake it into a tart.
Man, I want brie now.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, so good.
We'll be right back. We come back and all of us eating brie.
Do we
words.
notice anything about the pumpkins? Is there anything unusual about how they're growing, how they look, how they smell?
Roll a nature check.
Hmm. 8
Eat. Nope, nothing unusual.
biscuits.
Do you mind if we could see your twins' room? Look around, see if there's anything, clues, hints to what could have happened.
Don't worry, we're adventurers. It's fine.
That makes that more normal. Okay.
We are the Lady
Uh,
A's. We've been recruited to come here to help with the situation that's happening.
I know the sheriff told us at
Yes.
the door, but the comment was weird.
You know.
You'll get used
But,
to it.
Yeah, their rooms back this way. You know, they're always forgetting to close doors and letting drafts in, which didn't help with our sickness much when Osha and I were ill. And I feel real bad because we had just scolded them for being inconsiderate right that evening before they died. About the doors, and then also they were trying to be helpful, but they had told the baker that he needs to flavor his bread more and that he needed some work. They meant well, but it was rude. Even if it's true, it's still rude. You don't just go around saying these things. Their room's right back here, and I know that Soren saying that she thinks that our sickness got them sick and then they died,
No.
but they weren't sick beforehand, and they were so full of life. They were in their early 20s. And what 20-year-old up and dies?
I agree. That
Feels
is
so much
unusual.
better.
Now, if you don't mind, if we get to the room, we need to investigate on our own. Please give us some time, and she'll close the door on them.
Oh,
Thank you, she says through the door. And immediately she'll turn to
fucking
the other one.
adventures.
Immediately she'll turn to the other two. She's like, I am sorry, and she'll whisper it to Nevi, and if Sheriff Brown is in the room with us, everything keeps pointing back to the baker. So far,
Yeah.
everyone that has died has insulted or have made a rude comment or gave a severe criticism to the baker. Maybe I did not scope or watch him long enough to see what's going on, but let's look around here. If there's breadcrumbs or anything of the sort that looks like it's some of his bread, we could set up something where one of us, I'm really good at it, could severely insult him. I could leave.
Oh,
I
already
Nick-
did that.
I mean, severely. Darling, I love you. You're great. You're wonderful. But please let me handle the insulting of individuals.
Well,
Sure.
I thought
You know-
all of you had already insulted him quite a bit, to be honest.
Yeah, we insulted him a bit, and then I ate the bread, so I might die. In
It's
which case,
true.
I absolutely give you permission to revive me necromantically if that's a
Ooh,
thing that you can do.
I haven't tried that before, but I would love to try it. If not, we've talked about the autopsy pod. Can I?
Yep, go for it. Use my body
Awesome.
for science.
But if you
To
all
you.
think it's Bara, I can draw up an arrest warrant back at the sheriff's office.
Oh, but
We have
there's
enough
that-
evidence.
we don't have enough evidence to have it stick, and I don't know about you here in the backwater area of things, but from the civilization I come from, you need to have significant evidence to prove that somebody is guilty before you just arrest them.
Yeah,
And it
there's
could
this
be
thing called
detrimental.
There's
Double
a
jeopardy.
compliment. Okay, sure. However you guys want to do it.
But I do want to do a quick investigation to see if I can find breadcrumbs or anything like that in this
Although,
room.
while you do that, I am thinking it might actually be a good idea to fake arrest him, or real arrest him, whatever, to like stress him out and see how he reacts, and maybe he'll like dig his own grave, so to speak. If he doesn't know that we don't know, then he might say incriminating and damning things.
That is true.
But also definitely look for breadcrumbs, so to speak.
Dr.
Alright.
Ray, he got real angry real fast.
Mhm.
Do we want to poke the baker?
Yes.
Yeah. Listen, if he's
so-
poisoning,
Oh,
if he's poisoning people, I'm already done. I'm already done for, so I might as well go out in a blaze of glory. You know?
that's fair.
I did a 17 investigation, Corey.
Okay, so as you're looking around the room, you do find breadcrumbs in the corner of the door, kind of where it would hinge and swing open. It looks like someone had like swept through here and tidied, but had just missed that little bit in the corner.
Dr. Ray, get the evidence bag.
Oh, yeah. I'll just give you like a box of them, like a sandwich baggie box.
Totally does like the glove trick where she puts the bag inside out over her hand, picks up the one like morsel of a crumb.
And plastics have now been invented, apparently. Okay.
Welcome to our group.
And oil has been discovered, plastics have been invented, got it. Ruining the environment.
And we have Ziploc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Corey's like, I draw the line right there. No zip
I
line.
draw the line at plastics.
The concept of double jeopardy and arrest warrants.
But I guess while doing this investigation, Lilith will ask the sheriff, is there any other points of interest in this town that we should maybe look at before we head to the baker? It's always good to explore your options before you make your final accusation.
I mean, there's 3 other places where people were murdered. If you
Oh,
wanted to go look at those, there was Millie King, the florist. And
Did they have a
then,
significant other?
uh,
Do they
Millie?
have yes? Do they have any connections to anybody else that can tell us what they were doing the day of their death?
Well, Millie was close to Coco. Millie is a retired adventurer, and so is Coco, who runs the shop. And then Clara Warburton, the florist that I was getting to, she really didn't have anyone living with her. She has cats. And then there's the farmhouses, Peter and Sia Farmhouse. Peter and his husband are dairy farmers, and Sia is their adopted daughter. But yeah, I mean, Peter's husband is still alive, Horace.
Alright, so I look into the other 2. I feel like we should go speak to these individuals, check out the scenes before we go back to the baker.
I'm game.
Game,
Opens
but
the
I'm
door.
curious.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Why do we keep calling these murders when it seems like these are more illnesses than murders, right?
Well, there is precedent for knowingly giving an illness to somebody being murder if they die, but also it just feels like a murder kind of situation, quite frankly.
Okay. Debbie just
Will it
happily
be anything?
accepts it and
Well, if you wanted to go talk to Horace Farmhouse, he's usually at the Lumpy Pumpkin.
To the
Since,
Lumpy
you know,
Pumpkin.
his whole family died.
Oh,
his family dying. I just love the pumpkin.
It's a good tavern name. All right.
I'm a jerk. I'm not that bad.
Oh, I was imagining like go up to speak to them and be like, and I'm going to take that ale because that's just what I do. It's like a compulsive behavior now for you. You go to hand it Kaneen. Oh no, Kaneen.
Okay, so you all head over with the sheriff to the Lumpy Pumpkin. As you head that way, he explains that a lot of the townsfolk, about a dozen or so, are now staying at their tavern because they're too scared to be home alone with some murderer or murderous thing wandering about. And you find Horace Farmhouse, an orc, kind of well-built. Definitely looks like he's spent a lot of time out in the sun in the farm. He is very drunk when you find him.
Great.
isn't it like, just to clarify, it's like morning?
It's now, after all of the traveling about and you've done, it's about mid-afternoon.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine.
You've done a lot of walking around town and talking to people, so it's now like about 1, 2. So, Sheriff, you said you got questions with the adventurers.
Are you able to remember what happened the night your entire family died, and then the day before?
That was 2 nights.
Hmm.
The night Peter died, he's gone to bed a little grumpy. Burn his
Burned his tongue.
on something, some hot custard, and it was like real painful. And he told Baker the bread wasn't fit for human consumption.
Consumption.
Yeah, that
Mhm.
one.
Okay.
So
What
no
about-
one else would burn their the hell.
Well, what about the other day?
And the next day, we skipped eating. We were just too upset after Peter died. And Sia had gone to the bakery, but was so upset she sobbed and said she couldn't stomach the sad bread.
And she said this to Mr. Breadman,
Suppose.
or within hearing. I'm leading the witness at this point. All right.
Suppose.
Mhm.
I kept her home after, and we barricaded the doors and windows, and I moved Sia to my room. We both stayed in my room. And then I woke up and I found Sia dead too, with ash all over her body.
Ash?
Ash.
Anything else weird? Sorry, go on.
Ash, like maybe burnt fish bread ash?
Like fire, smoke, ash.
Wood ash, not crust ash, huh?
Anything else weird about, or anything else you remember about any of those crime
It's
scenes.
gotta be a ghost killing everyone, because I fully barricaded the entire house. There was no way anyone or anything alive could have got in.
Was there a chimney in the room? A fireplace?
Yeah, there's a fireplace.
Mm.
If a person doesn't come down a fireplace, it gets stuck.
Oh yeah,
And-
or if you left some food in there, it could catch a fire and then turn to ash.
Yeah.
If you left some cookies, you could get some gifts out of it.
Oh,
Yeah,
ho,
sometimes a goblin will come through the chimney and leave gifts or coal. I've heard.
Mhm.
Sounds fake.
Yeah. People
Fake
believe some weird
news.
things.
Well, I think we're good here, unless you have anything else that may have been use.
You happen to find any bread in the room either of these times? No reason.
No sad bread.
Happy bread?
Bread not happy.
I seen it, yeah, no.
Mhm.
Mad bread, angry bread.
I'll just like hand him like a silver and I'm like, buy yourself a nice drink.
Ale.
Next destination, Sheriff Brown? Whichever one is the closest one of the remaining individuals that know of loved ones.
Okay, you want to go check out all of the remaining scenes? Sure.
I think
Where we
there's
do that?
2 remaining ones, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's Millie's and then Clara's. I mean, I think Clara's is probably the closest here. She runs her shop out of the garden attached to her home. Well, she ran her shop out of the garden attached. It's awfully hard getting used to saying that. Yeah, sure.
You said earlier
Mhm.
that it wasn't your place to tell us Breadman's history and that he should tell us himself. One, he's not going to do that. Two, that means you know something. What was his magical specialty before this?
Well, yeah, everybody knows Bar's history around here. And he's not very good at hiding anything about his past. He's using his name as it's always been. So it's not hard to figure out what he was doing. He used to dabble in necromancy and the like. He ran with a bad crowd. But this was his chance to, turn his life around. Like I said, he wanted to start anew, start fresh. And we in Millwood admire him for that. He's kind of a inspirational figure to us. He's not good at what he does, but at least he's trying to turn over a new leaf.
Did he and your wife get to know each other before her timely passing? Or did he come after?
No, Bara came after
Okay.
Emma had passed.
Well,
All
Dr.
right.
Ray, Nevi, do you have any other questions before we move on?
I do not.
No, I think I'm good for now.
Right, so to our next friend.
All right, to the florist. Whenever you arrive at the florist's house, you see a large garden out of the back with what looks like a covered entrance with a sign over it that just says florist. And then it has another like cottage style house attached to that. As you arrive, you see an orange tabby comes slipping out of a cat flap in the door and comes over, meows, and kind of whines between your legs. You see there's an injury on the cat's left ear. Oh man, Wheatley, has somebody been feeding you?
Wheatley is its name.
Yeah, that's the cat's name, Wheatley.
Mm.
Can we go to the cottage that the cat came out of and see if
Yeah.
the door is and enter in?
Yeah, the sheriff goes ahead and opens the door. And
Before. Sorry, go
Mhm.
ahead.
Nope, go ahead.
Before we move on, Nevi would like to reach down and just gently stroke the kitty and use Cure Wounds to fix the kitty's ear.
Aw. You
Mm.
do so. The cat purrs happily. It's now following you around.
Sweet. Spell cast.
Worth it.
Totes.
So he goes ahead and he opens the door, and you can see the house still looks very lived in. And the sheriff says, "Well, Clara only died a few days ago, so we haven't really gotten around to getting things together. And like I said, she lived on her own, so it's not like there was a next of kin to come really take care of it for us."
So, of course, immediately once entering into the room, Lilith will look off to Dr. Ray. I think you know what we're here looking for, traces of bread or breadcrumbs. And with that said, somebody has redeemed the Chaos Gremlin and rolled a 61.
61. Who's somebody?
Who do you think?
Oh,
Mr. Producer.
It wasn't me.
This time.
Takes fist.
Look, I'm hearing him laugh through the door.
Whoever is going to search for breadcrumbs, go ahead and roll an investigation check while I see.
I'll do
what
it.
this is.
Okay.
Because Bard.
I will assist.
21.
I don't need to
Okay.
assist. I will sit comfortably in a chair.
Don't worry about it.
You go ahead and you look around for breadcrumbs. And you do see some that seem to come from the cat flap inn. You also notice while you're looking around that the cat that's following Nevi around Wheatley jumps up onto the table before it sees some bread that was left on the table, and it hisses at the bread and then jumps back down and runs off behind Nevi. It's back arched, looking out at the bread.
The information that we have gathered so far, Lilith will immediately approach that bread that it hissed at, and it might be a far reach, but she's going to see if there's some kind of arcane magic connected to it, if maybe a spell was cast on it, lingering left over behind.
Okay.
Are
you casting something?
Let me see if I do have something in my repertoire of spells I know that will help. Nope, those are all things that cause damage. So nope, I wish I had identified.
Okay. You can make an Arcana check, but it's going to be real hard without...
Inspiration. D6.
Okay. Poop. 14 with that D6.
Yeah, you
I
can't
rolled
tell
really shitty.
You can't tell if there's anything magical about the bread. But as you're kind of looking closer at the bread, you see an eyeball come up from under the table and look at you. And then it kind of just floats up some more. And it's just floating in the middle of the air, staring at you.
Don't like that.
Who are you?
It blinks. It has no eyelid, but it blinks.
Would I know this, seeing that I often use fiends and creatures and things to look through their eyes like this is something that somebody's watching us through.
Roll an Arcana check.
Okay, you're going to dice jail. 7.
Nope, no idea. Never seen it in your life.
Well,
It's an
then-
eyeball.
It's an eyeball.
So
A floating fucking eyeball.
I walk up to it, not too close, and I say, "Look to the left if you can understand.
It just stares at you.
Look, okay. Well, I don't know how sentient this eyeball is. It appears to just be an eyeball. Look to the left if you are sentient.
It stares at you.
Look to the left if you're a big poo-poo butthole. I mean, don't look
Stares
to
at
the
you.
left. Don't look to the left. Okay, it's a big
Still
poo-poo
stares at
butthole.
you.
If you were standing next to me, are those non-plastic baggies that you have on your side or easy for Lilith to grab?
I think I gave you the whole box.
Oh, you gave me. Okay, I'm going to
Yeah.
just take one of the baggies and just sack the eyeball. Be like, nope, we're done here, and just like
Your hand in the bag passes through it.
Well, that's weird.
Okay.
poke.
Nevi
try to-
is
Poke it.
Both of us
while
are.
Dr. Ray is poking the eyeball. Nevi's going to do mind link with the cat,
Okay.
and she's going to ask the cat why it's freaking out about the eyeball.
So you get the idea from the cat, because the cat doesn't really think in complete thoughts or sentences since it doesn't have a language. But you get the idea of fear and pain, and like something is an adversary or an enemy when related to the bread.
I'm trying to communicate in the same thoughts formation as the cat. Nevi's going to ask if the cat knows where this is coming from, where it originates.
You get the idea that it came through where the cat comes. So it invaded the cat's home through the way that the cat comes into its home.
Okay, has it been here a long time?
No. You get the idea that the cat feels like it's scared it off.
Oh, the cat has scared it off. And Nevi's gonna scratch behind its ears, just like, good kitty.
Purse.
It seems like the cat is able to frighten this thing off. Do you think if the cat does that, it'll show us where it goes to? Dr. Ray?
Maybe. I was actually thinking maybe we take the cat with us when we go to talk to Bara and see how the cat reacts to him.
Good idea. You've
Nevi
made
is-
good friends with a kitty. Maybe I'll let you pick it up and, pet the pussy and ring the bell and
Take a drink.
take a drink and go to the baker. Pet the pussy, ring the bell, go to the baker.
Official.
Nevi's
Call
gonna
back to
ask
our
the
other
cat.
shows.
Hang out. Nevi's gonna ask if the cat has a name or
Purr.
He sort of-
purr.
You get the feeling that it answers to the name Wheatley. Which is
Okay. Sweet. Lee.
Oh.
That's for you, Dr. Ray. So Nevi's gonna scoop up Wheatley and kind of snuggle. All right, let's
Glad
go.
for this. Yes. Great.
I don't think we
Alright.
necessarily have to go to the other person. All signs keep on pointing to the baker. All means doors were left open for what is probably the bread to enter into rooms. The ashes, I totally believe, because the one individual said that the doors were all barred and closed, but they had a fireplace. I believe that the bread came through there, and our good baker friend was dabbling in necromancy, so I think he did something to his actual bread items to attack individuals that criticized him. That is just my theory and what I've put together.
Yeah, I
Lilith,
agree.
what about the eyeball?
The eyeball, I am not 100% sure on that, to be honest. It's something I've never seen before.
The eyeball comes back around and it floats right in front of your face, Lilith. I need a wisdom saving throw.
It's fucking watching me.
Rude.
Wisdom save, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's that. There's something I need to check just real quick.
Check quicker.
I'm You're asking a dissector to read quick, okay?
Know your character.
Look, you know Lilith. You know she's more complicated than what I ever expected her to be.
That's your
15. I didn't mean for it to happen. It just happened, and it happened during the rolls of like,
That's
Having
your
been a
fault.
16-year-old girl once upon a time, they are super complicated.
It's true.
Agreed.
I don't even know
as-
myself.
As the eyeball floats in front of you, Lilith, for a moment, you begin to get like dizzy and almost feel like you're going to pass out. But then your vision clears, and you see Bara in the bakery, and he is putting together what looks like a gigantic bread golem.
Of
Okay.
course he is.
Am I stuck in this vision? Do I snap out?
You
I snap out.
of it after that. Yeah.
I just looked at it. I'm like, we need to go now, and we need to go fast. We have to get to the
Okay.
bakery. And on the way there, I will inform them what I saw.
Oh, wow.
And I'm just like, I should have stayed longer. I should have went with my hunch. I fucking knew it. I just should have sat there a little bit longer. But no, I'm impatient. Wait.
The sheriff says, I did say I would draw up an arrest warrant about
She,
2
as she's
hours
yelling
ago."
at herself and is angry with herself, she will quickly kind of just like, I did not ask for your opinion right now.
As your employer, I think you should get it anyway.
My employer is Lady A, not you. So submit
I
any
guess
arguments.
I'm Lady A's employer. So I'm double your employer.
Before we sprint out, I'm gonna take a bread knife from the kitchen.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now we got a cat, a bread knife.
You've got a cat, a bread knife, and an old tiefling sheriff.
Yeah,
That's
I'll
gone.
grab like a shaker of Parmesan cheese too. Why not?
Everything you need.
Can I just? I'm just like, I'm going to throw a fireball through the window of the bakery and be like, we're done here.
Okay, so as
Tasting bread.
as you all rush to the bakery, you slam the door open, and you hear mumbling and talking from the back room.
I run in there shouting to try to distract him.
Okay. As you run in
This is
there
fantastic.
shouting, you just hear him laughing harder until finally he says, "You fools! While you followed breadcrumbs, I've been perfecting the recipe for my ultimate bread creation. It's ready to enact my revenge on this whole ungrateful town, starting with you." Barrow raises hands and shouts, "Rise!"
It's like this big because it never rises properly.
Bread spiders skitter throughout the room, and with a hiss of steam, a fresh batch of takoyaki fly into the air, their mouths dripping with thin, molten custard. Bowls of dough littered around the room expand and knead together with various chunks of bread, combining into a single monstrous mass of bread and dough. Rising into a vaguely humanoid shape, The Dolem roars and lurches towards you. Dolem.
Nice.
Everybody roll initiative, finally.
Oh, wow.
All right.
So, player question.
Uh-huh.
If I rolled super bad, but then... Oh, wait. Yeah, so I rolled a 1, but I get +7.
Uh-huh.
I don't need to do a penalty, right?
No.
Yes!
You're good.
Thank you.
You're good for that. It's just initiative. You're fine. All right.
Amazing.
25 to 20. Nope. Oh, look.
Nat 20,
Oh, wow.
Nice.
which would put me up to 21
21.
with
Okay.
my whopping +1 initiative.
19 to 15. No, okay. 14 to 10. Still no. All right. 9 to 5. Both of you. Let's go Dr. Ray first.
7.
7. And then Nevi?
8.
8. So Nevi, Dr. Ray. Okay. Lilith, you are first.
All right, so I'm going to do the odd thing that's never really asked is, how big is this room?
Oh, yeah.
The room is not particularly large. It is probably about 40 feet wide by like 50 feet long.
All right, then I'm assuming, are we on the width side or are we on the backhand of the 50?
So it's...
Can I aim a fireball far enough where we don't get hit?
What is the radius of it?
20. So it'd be
20-foot
40
radius.
feet wide.
Um,
So if we're in the
So
back half of
you
the
could
50, we'd be 10
probably-
feet out of reach.
you can probably throw it at the very back of the room and
Mhm.
manage to not hit your party.
Cool, let's do that. I throw a fireball. So,
It's a dex save, right?
yes. Yes.
Okay. That is a natural 20 for Baron Bara. And
Ew.
that is a 17 for the Dolem.
Both succeed.
Okay.
So they're going to take half damage. Crap. Perfectly fine if you don't allow this because I rushed in and did the fireball first, but could have I put my hex on the Baron?
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Okay, cool. So hex is going on Baron. Let's see. I need 2 more d6s. Ten.
Find all the d6s.
Right.
Ooh.
18, 19, 22, 28. So that's going to be 28 divided by 2. So, 14. Because I believe they take half damage if they
14,
succeed.
so 7.
No, it's 28 for the fireball
Oh.
damage. So 14 is the actual damage they take. Sorry.
Okay.
I did the halving for you.
Yeah, always give me full damage, please.
Okay. So
And
there's
then I will do halvesies as appropriate.
that. For the hex, that's 3 damage hex on Baron.
And you place that on the Baron. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then it's 2 cold damage on both creatures, I believe is how it's set up.
Does cold on a saving throw spell?
That's why I'm double checking. Let's see. Once during each of your turn, when you hit a target. Okay, when you hit
You
a with
didn't
an attack
hit,
roll. So,
yeah.
yep, no cold damage.
Okay, great. Is that all for your turn?
And I will move to the back of my party.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're all already at the back, so.
I will squeeze between one of my party members and the wall.
Okay,
I'd
sure.
be like, ah! And then squeeze.
All right, it is the Baron's turn. Do. He is going to make 2 necrotic attacks. The first one is going to be at Nevi. And then
Jerk.
the
He
second
ate
one...
his pretzels.
I'm so sorry. And the second one is going to be at Dr. Ray. I rolled a d4.
That's fair.
Sorry, it's
My
random.
plan worked!
Great.
Nevi just kind of holds her cloak out a little bit further to hide Lilith.
Protect me!
The first one at Nevi is going to be an 18 to hit.
That hits me.
Okay. That is 13 necrotic damage. Next one's going to be Dr. Ray.
Is that different from regular damage?
No, it's just the type of damage.
Okay,
if you have
super.
any resistances or anything to it, that's why it's labeled something different.
I wish I did.
Dr. Ray, that's a 9 to hit.
That does not hit.
Yay. Okay, great. That is going to be his turn. He's going to go towards the back of the room, kind of between, putting the dolem between you guys and himself. Nevi, it is your turn.
And I just messed up the damage. Okay, there we go. Whoop-pow. Great, sorry about that. Okay. So we've got the Dolem, we've got the Baron.
Mm-hmm.
We still have the doe spiders, or did they merge to become the Dolem?
They became the dolem.
Okay. Great. And just kind of an outside question. If I do infestation, how much of the Dolem do you think that the parasites could nom through?
I have to
So-
look at the spell. Let me look. Nope, that's the wrong infestation.
It's a cantrip.
Yeah. So it wouldn't eat through any of it. The way infestation works is they make a Constitution saving throw, and they take poison damage.
Oh.
And then
Okay.
they move 5 feet in a random direction if they
Okay.
fail.
But if it's already poison bred, I mean, seems like a null thing.
I mean,
Okay,
it still
am-
doesn't change the base of what the spell does.
Okay. I'm thinking at this point, I'm going to produce a flame.
Okay.
And I would like to shoot the Dolem.
Okay. Yep. Go ahead and roll to hit.
Okay. Oh, amazing. I got 11 to hit.
And 11 just hits.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And then 14 damage.
How much was that? I'm sorry, the
14.
14. Okay.
It only ever seems to cut out when you say 14 specifically. This is
Yeah.
attempt with 14.
40. It does 40 damage.
Not a cantrip, that's for certain. Okay. Great. All right. Is there anything else for your turn?
Just gonna kind of glance back and make sure Lilith is okay back there. She's fine.
Okay. Great. Dr. Ray.
I'm gonna cast Shatter between the two if possible to damage both. If not possible, I'm gonna cast it on our baker enemy.
What is the radius of shatter?
10 feet.
10 feet. Yeah, you probably wouldn't be able to get both of them just because of how big the golem is.
Okay. Although I don't actually know how golems work. Yeah, I'm gonna cast it on the guy, on the baker.
Okay.
And I'm casting it as a level 3 spell, so that will be 4d8. Bad rolls so far. 7, 8, 10.
It's a con save, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry, DC 14. I just assumed.
And you're casting it on the Baron or the
Yes.
golem?
The Baron.
Okay. Yeah, that's an 8, so definitely fails.
That's 13 shatter damage.
13. Gotcha. All right.
That's
Anything
it.
else? That's all. Okay. It is the Dolem's turn, which is going to come running up. And it is going to make two batter attacks.
Batter.
The first one is going to be at Nevi, because apparently that's who my dice want to pick on today. And the second one is Dr. Ray, also who the dice want to pick on today. So the first one at Nevi is going to be an 11 to hit. Nope. Okay. And then the second one at Dr. Ray, that is going to be a 12 to hit.
Nope.
Okay, so you're able to easily dodge out of the way of this large swinging doe arm.
Yeah.
It doesn't move particularly fast, and it's pretty dumb. That's its turn. Great. And then it's gonna take a bonus action, and it is going to tear off a piece of itself, and it's gonna eat it and regain some hit points. Boop-a-doop-a-doop.
Oh, ew.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So many jokes.
So, it's now more full.
Just
Great.
eat it, eat it, eat
Lilith,
it.
we're back to you.
I am seeing this shit happen in front of me, and I'm going to cast Mage Armor on myself.
Okay. Great.
Yep. And I am going to... Am I within 5 feet of it, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Yes. I'm going to stay
Well,
there.
technically, you're behind someone, so you'd be within 10 feet of it, not 5.
Okay, I'm going to, hug the wall and scoot to, a corner opposite from them. But not
Okay.
towards, what's his name? The Baron.
The Baron. Okay. Heard. Great.
That will end my turn.
It is Baron's turn. He
So-
is going... What?
Lilith is going from what was it, 15 feet to 10 feet? How wide do we think Nevi actually is?
No. She asked, Lilith asked if she was within 5 feet of the golem in melee, basically. And I had said yes, but then I was like, oh no, you had hid behind someone. So if someone's space is 5 feet.
Oh,
In
okay.
D&D, a player, a medium character takes up 5 feet of space. And so then she
Amazing.
becomes 10 feet. because the 5 feet includes the range for you to cast spells, swing swords, things like that.
I know Nevi likes her biscuits, but come on, man.
No, no,
I mean,
it's not a
technically we're
commentary
saying-
on Nevi's size.
We're saying that Nevi's only 5 feet wide.
She handles her carbs, okay?
Please different on this plane, whatever.
So the Baron's going to do 2 more necrotic bursts. The first one is going to be at Nevi, and
Nevi.
the Kaneen's not here. Stop trying to roll for Kaneen. And the second one's going to be at Dr. Ray.
Mm-hmm. Is the sheriff not in here with us?
He stayed out in the front area. He's
Where's
not
the
going to
cat?
come in here with you.
Nevi, shake the cat and throw it.
I'd like to think that I set the cat down so he could get away from all this.
I'm assuming Nevi's not going to bring the cat into battle because she's Nevi.
No.
Okay, so the one at Nevi that is going to be... Oop, where's my modifier? That is going to be a modified 20.
Oh, lame sauce. Yeah.
And the one at Dr. Ray, that is going to be a 19.
It does hit. However, so I have a question about Vengeful Assault. When you take damage from a creature in range of a weapon you are wielding, you can use a reaction to make an attack with the weapon against that creature. Could my spear, which is a thrown weapon, count, or is this specifically melee damage?
I mean, you couldn't throw the spear in this because it would have to be within range of the weapon, which is normally a melee attack.
Okay. Because I was going to say the spear can be thrown up to 60 feet, but...
I would have to look at the specific wording. For this,
Yeah.
we're just going to go with it being melee because we're short on time and I don't really have
Sure.
time to go and look up the wording, but I'll look it up and I'll make a closer decision later.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, so the one that hits Nevi, that is going to be 9 necrotic damage.
Ow.
And the one that hits Dr. Ray is going to be 16 necrotic damage.
Nice. Great.
But that is his turn. Nevi, it is your turn.
Nevi is going to... Am I within 10 feet of the Baron?
No.
Oh,
You are
biscuits.
within 10 feet of the golem, but not the Baron. The Baron's on the other side of the room.
Okay. I am going to send fire at the golem again, or the dolem.
Okay. You are in melee with it, so it would be disadvantaged to do a ranged attack while you're in melee.
Okay. It just says range self. Is that-
Yes. So it's still, because of the way you're using it, it's still a ranged attack. You're still throwing it. Whenever it's self, it's there whenever you just kind of bring it up as a light.
Okay. In that case, can I switch that to poison spray?
Yes, you may.
Okay. Thank you.
It's a Constitution save.
Yep, Con 15.
Okay. That I'm pretty sure is a failure. Yeah, that's an 8.
Oh, bad.
I rolled really bad.
Oh, wait. So I can do this?
Yeah, he fails. He rolled an 8.
Happy day. Okay. Oh, I got 12. 12 damage.
That's pretty good.
Not
I
bad.
was about to
Cantrip.
say, that's good damage for a cantrip.
But how big is this thing? And I mean, could it stop eating itself?
Could you stop eating yourself if you were made of delicious bread?
No.
That's fair. I'd just
But
sit there with
nom-nom.
like some butter and honey.
Rolling it.
Yeah.
You just sit in a
All right.
bathtub of butter and honey and just rip off a piece. And
Is that all for your turn, Nevi?
That's it.
Excellent. It is Dr. Ray's turn.
All right, I'm gonna use my breath weapon and spit acid in its face.
Spit
yeah.
acid!
That is a dex save.
Dex
DC
save.
14.
It's real bad at that. That's a 13.
Nope, fails. So that is 11
11.
acid
Yes.
damage.
Nice. Very
Um,
nice.
And bonus action, I'm gonna heal myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good idea. All right.
That's 4.
For 4. Oh.
Yeah.
Something.
Hey, that's 4.
Something's better than nothing.
Yeah.
Okay. It is the Dolem's turn. Cool. It is gonna try to make 2 batter attacks again. The first one is going to be at Lilith.
Hey!
So it's gonna move away towards Lilith. So Dr. Ray and Nevi, you both get attack of opportunity as it moves away from you.
Great.
So,
So all right, I'm gonna do that with let's do it with the quarterstaff held. So
Okay.
the D8.
yeah, 2-handed. Gotcha.
17.
17. Yeah, that hits.
Whack.
6 bludgeoning.
6. Gotcha. All right. I hate math. I hate math. I still hate math.
Matt hates you.
Yeah, it does. Okay, great. Nevi, make your attack of opportunity. It has to be a melee weapon.
So one of your
Okay.
daggers.
Yeah, I have a dagger.
Okay, go ahead and
Let's see.
roll to hit.
Rolled a 6.
6. That misses, unfortunately. You can't find purchase in the bread. It kind of springs back. You
Easy
find a
come, easy
particularly
go.
hard
It's the
baguette.
wrong knife for the.
Okay.
So they use the bread knife. But Nevi, it's gonna go. Not Nevi. Lilith, it's gonna go ahead and swing at you. That is going to be a 15 to hit.
Hits.
Okay. 18 bludgeoning damage, 1/8.
Okay. It's fine. Everything's fine.
And then it's gonna make its second attack at Kaneen, who's not here. Yeah, it's gonna wander back because it's real dumb. It's not gonna do anything in a really smart order. So it's gonna wander back and take a swing at Nevi. So Lilith, you get a melee attack of opportunity if you'd like.
Con
It's
save,
not
please.
smart. Do you have Warcaster?
Yep.
Oh. Isn't it still a spell attack
Yep.
that you have to use with Warcaster?
And it's a spell that I'm casting.
A spell attack?
Mm,
A con save is not a spell attack?
let me double check that because I have it. Saving throws, you maintain your blah blah blah. You perform a select blah blah blah. So you can use your reaction to make an opportunity attack to cast a spell that has a casting time of 1 action and targets only 1 creature.
Okay.
So
Okay, cool. I thought it was a spell attack. That is, you said it was a con save?
Yeah.
That's a 6.
it failed.
Okay.
It takes 8 damage, and
8.
it's going to move opposite direction 5 feet. Roll a d4 for the direction that it needs to move.
Do you want me to roll the d4?
Yeah, but it's the creature itself that rolls the d4.
1.
It moves 5 feet north of us, or wherever. So I don't know if
Okay.
it moves it away from them.
Okay. It moves it away 5 feet, but then it comes back.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't say that it has to stop there. It just makes it go 5
Yeah.
feet, right?
Like Brad, it always springs back.
Yep.
Yeah, so then it's just gonna go back towards Debbie and be like, ow, that hurt. It's not smart. But I gotta do math first. Which we all know how good I am at math. Yep. Okay.
Better than I am.
I don't know about that. Nevi, it's gonna swing at you. That is going to be a 19 to hit. 1-9.
Ow.
Okay. I'm gonna assume that's yes. 1.
Just
But
one?
I rolled complete shit, so that's 6 damage.
That's okay. I'm already hurting, so. Ooh.
All right. That's its turn. That brings us back to Lilith.
Yep, we're going to do the Fable Soul-Ripping Eldritch Blast. It splits into 2, and both are aiming right towards that Baron. She's done with this shit.
Okay.
First one is a 26 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Second one is 22 to hit.
Yeah, also hits.
Yep, so we'll do
Nice.
damage first. That's going to be 9 damage.
Okay.
And then another 9 damage.
Okay.
Then it's going to be 6 cold damage.
Okay, hold on. I can't
Oh,
math that fast.
Sorry.
And you said 6 cold?
6 cold. And now I'm going to do the necrotic damage. If I roll the right die. 9 damage necrotic.
Okay, your necrotic damage does not seem very effective.
Okay, Baron. Necromancy. Go figure.
Just letting you know.
Thank you.
Okay, is that all for your turn?
And I'm going to move am I in the corner of the room?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll just stay there.
I was like, you said you wanted to move to the far corner.
Yeah.
So, yes. Alright, great. It is Baron's turn. He is going to do 2 more necrotic bursts. First one is going to be at Lilith. The second one is going to be at Dr. Ray. First one at Lilith, that is going to be a modified 20 to hit.
Hits.
And the one at Dr. Ray is a natural 20.
Ah, yikes.
The modified 20 is going to be 15 necrotic damage, 1-5.
Okay.
And the one at Dr. Ray, $31 necrotic damage.
Ooh, I'm down.
Oh.
Ooh. Ow.
That's funny.
I kill
didn't
my
even-
players in a one-shot.
Yeah, I'm just like, it was the carbs.
Gluten!
You always want to be dead.
All right, that's his turn. Nevi, it is your turn.
I am. Okay, so if I do Healing Spirit, does that help Death by Gluten?
Yeah.
Okay, score. I'm going
She's
to.
not dead, she's just passed out.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. I'm going to cast Healing Spirit at Dr. Ray,
Okay.
No.
and that is 3.
Great.
3
I'm
points.
alive.
You're up. You're down. You're up. You're down. Welcome to Lilith's life.
I was about to say, how does it feel, bitch? How funny is it?
All right, Nevi, is that all for your turn?
I mean, unless I can get in on some of that Healing Spirit, yeah, we're good.
Not this turn. Next turn.
Okay.
Okay, Dr. Ray, it is your turn.
So am I in melee with the doughboy?
You are not. It is in melee with Nevi, but not you currently.
Okay, great. I'm gonna cast Shatter again on the Baron.
Okay. Con save, right?
Let me double check. I think so. I can't see. Yeah, con save.
Okay, that's a 6.
Okay, well that fails. So that's 4d8.
Spellcaster.
Yeah. Where'd my d8s go? Okay. 4, 7, so that's 11. 6, so that's 17. That one fell out. 7, so that's 24 shatter damage
24.
on the Baron.
Nice. Apparently. Knocking you out really pissed you off.
Yeah.
That's a lot. He's looking like he's having a bad day now.
Great news.
Okay.
Smiley T came in with a superior healing for the group.
Hey, thanks, Dad.
Yay!
Thanks,
Dad.
Dad.
Can you roll that for him, Steven? Because I don't
Yeah.
think he knows how.
Yeah, I'm just looking up what the code was again that we had for that.
I
'Cause-
believe it's just exclamation point superior. It should say in the description of it, though.
Yep, there we go. 28
Yay.
for everyone.
28. 28 points.
Thanks, Dad.
Oh,
Oh,
thank you so much.
Because my dad loves us. He's so
we
proud
owe
of
you a
himself
really
right
good
now.
Christmas gift.
He's so proud of himself right now. I could see him showing his mom, look, Gina, I did it.
You did do it. You saved us.
I mean,
For real, though.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is not looking good for you guys. Okay, great. Dr. Ray, was that Shatter all for your turn?
Yeah, I don't need to healing word myself anymore.
Okay, great. It's now the Jolem's turn. He's very stupid. And he's going to slide over, which would keep him in melee with Nevi, but he's going to attack Dr. Ray first. And again, because apparently it doesn't like you.
Fine. I don't like it.
That's a natural 20 for
Fuck.
1. And then the second attack
You're
is
back down again.
21.
Yep. Yep. Or,
Uh,
you know what? I'm just gonna faint. It's fine.
That's going to be 14 for the not natural 21.
Mm-hmm.
And 28 for the natural 20.
Oh, I'm back down.
Up, down.
That's
Thanks, Dad.
No worries. I'm just resting.
You would have been deader.
Yeah.
If it weren't for that.
It's okay. I'm just.
Wouldn't that be
proving.
2 death saving throws with that kind of hit if it walloped down there?
Well,
Whatever.
the first hit would have taken them down, and then the second hit would have taken 2 death saves
Yeah.
marks off. Yeah. Great. Lilith, your turn.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's nothing I can do for you, Dr. Ray. You're fine! And back at it again, going after the Baron.
Okay.
Same thing, Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
That is again a 22 to hit,
Yeah, that hits.
and then an 18 to hit.
Also hits.
Okay. Trying to do math fast. That is first damage is 14.
Okay.
Second one is math 11.
11.
Let me know
Not
when you're-
dead yet, but close.
Add the 6 damage,
6.
cold damage.
Okay, cold damage. Dead.
Yay. Yeah.
She actually does that too. Like, fuck you.
And you just hear, fuck you too! As he dies. Great. Golem's still up though, so we are not out of initiative. It still exists. Surprise. Okay, great. That's it
Oh.
for your turn, Lilith?
You bred life into him. Yeah, done.
It looks like another greater healing has been redeemed.
Oh, hey!
Yep,
Yay.
yes it has. This one's the greater, so let me go ahead and put that code in.
Is that also from Dad?
Yep.
He's on
There's-
it.
18.
That is the true.
Everyone
That
gets
is the
18.
cleric.
18. I'm back
We're a
up.
party with no cleric because we have my father, who is
Your father is the cleric.
The best cleric. He only has 3 spells, but they're good ones.
Dad is
Alright.
now the MVP of this game.
Yup.
You just sit back up suddenly, Dr. Ray. Like you had like a bucket of cold water thrown on you. For some reason, you have a Bud Light in your hand. Which makes perfect sense if you know my family. Alright. That was Lilith, and you killed him, so it's not his turn. Nevi.
Right. So it's just
Just the golem now.
boy, right?
Just
oh,
Doughboy.
fantastic. Okay. I'm
Just
gonna.
Pillsbury Doughboy.
Yeah, I'm just going to overbake him. I'm gonna produce flame.
Yeah, sounds good.
You're gonna like just do it. 19 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Oh, score. Okay. And then it's 9 damage.
9 damage. Gotcha. He's still
We
looking pretty
asked-
good.
We ask for specific places to hit. Can I damage his mouth so he stops eating himself?
Yes, but it makes the like DC on it higher, so it's harder to hit a
Oh.
called place than it is just in general.
Okay. I'm good with general.
Okay. Cool. All right. That's it for Nebi, right? Dr. Ray, you're on the ground, but you're alive.
I'm not even gonna bother sitting back up. I'm gonna cast Shatter on him again.
Okay.
This time, on the one that's in front of us.
Great. Con save, right?
Oh yeah, I don't know why I'm rolling.
That's a 13.
Fails.
Great.
So
Blow him to pieces. Not that
6,
I think this is going to. But
7, 13, another 3, 16, 8, 20, 16 plus 8 is 24.
I'm so proud of your fast math. It's way faster than I could do it. All right. Yeah, you're starting to look pretty rough. Not dead yet, but starting to look rough. Blobby in places. Slumping.
Ew.
Yeah. All right. Do you want to stand up, Dr. Ray, or do you want to stay laying down? It is advantage on melee attacks while you are prone.
Yeah, I'll get up.
Just letting you know. Okay. It is the Dolem's turn. His master has died and he knows who killed it. He's dumb, but he's not that dumb. He's gonna amble towards Lilith. Both Nevi and Dr. Ray can make attacks of opportunity while he ambles away.
That's 18.
Yes, that hits.
9 quarterstaff damage.
9.
That's good damage.
Gotcha.
Thanks.
Yeah, that is good melee damage.
It's 1d8. I rolled a 7 plus 2.
Okay. And Nevi?
I have 9 to hit for dagger.
That misses, unfortunately. Again, you swing kind of wide, like the way the gluten's glomping. It just manages to get out of the way.
You just can't even be mad as long as it's gluten glomping.
There you go. I live to please. Great, and it's gonna come over and it's gonna make 2 batter attacks at Lilith because you killed its daddy. The first
do
one's
it
12
again.
to hit,
Misses.
and the second one is a maths number, 18 to hit.
Hits.
13 bludgeoning damage. 1-3.
Okay.
All right, that's its turn. We are back to Lilith.
Get the fuck off of me. I'm going to move out of the space. I will take that opportunity attack on myself. And I'm going to move
I
towards
was
the
gonna
fire.
say, are you moving all the way out?
Yep.
That's a natural 3, so he definitely misses.
Okay. And then I'm going to move my Hex onto him.
Okay.
And I'm going to do my Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
Nice.
First one is 21 to hit.
Yes, that hits.
Second one is 14 to hit.
Yes, that hits.
Okay, that is... First damage is 12.
12.
Second damage is 8.
8. Let me do math. Okay, looking real bad, but not dead yet.
Necrotic damage is 11.
Okay, how do you want to do this?
Yes.
So the Eldritch Blasts will come from each side of it, blasting a hole. And then you see this black ichor seep out of it, as then it just shreds from the inside out. Just jagged black barbs of the necrotic.
Gross.
Yucky.
A fitting end for the
Oh.
evil bread.
And then each element will freeze into place as the last remaining cold damage just locks it in place.
Great, now they have a terrifying bread statue.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So after
My
you
gift.
all defeat the Baron and the Dolem, the sheriff kind of goes and locks up the bakery and gathers you guys out and heads to the tavern to let everyone know what had happened. And as he lets people know, there's kind of a mixed reaction. So some people are really happy to see, as they're saying, the traitor dead, while others seem a little like bummed that like he was trying to reform his life but didn't manage to, and there really wasn't like true justice in the sense of like the justice system was carried out. So it's kind of like a mixed reaction, but they are happy nonetheless that no more people will die, and so you're spending the rest of the evening in the tavern. There's dancing and singing and drinks and food. And you do get your reward, which is 100 gold apiece.
800
Sorry,
gold apiece?
You missed that on 100 gold. Yeah.
Oh, 100 gold. I thought you said 800 gold. I'm like, wow, we are rewarded well.
100 gold.
Still good.
But
I'll take
still,
it.
yeah.
That's a lot for a tiny town.
Ooh. That's a good size amount of money.
Well, don't spend it all in one place.
I probably will.
Probably
Or
will.
Bathory,
Second.
of course you have a good amount of money.
Yeah, right? But telling the tale around the fire, Kanine's like, man, I missed out on 100 gold?
Don't
We're
worry.
gonna have to kill some more stuff then.
Next time, buddy.
He's just
And you
gonna
all
hand him a
laugh.
drink.
He downs the ale and you all laugh. The end.
We know as old man Robinson. He would have gotten away with it.
I hope everyone enjoyed this silly little one-shot. That was kind of a side thing. We'll be back with our normally scheduled game next Thursday, unless something wreaks havoc on our lives. Who knows? Fate hates us lately, so we'll see. Who knows? But we will be back this Sunday, Steven and I, with replaced shots being Jell-O mold shots with Jell-O with stuff in them. Various items that are gonna be increasingly grosser. So make sure to tune in for that and redeem your shots during the stream. They will
Or
get
don't.
increasingly worse. Or don't. That's fine. If I don't have to go through all 4, that's fine. But yeah, we'll see you then. Thank you again for hanging out. And as always, stay classy. Bye.